If the findings say that certain ethnicities or races or whatever are innately more violent, would that not then justify what we would call racism?
There were people in the audience actually who agreed. If you think it's innate, put red. If you think it's whatever, do green. And there was like 4 brave people, shout out to them, in a room of like 74 people who were like, innate.
I think this is in you.
Yeah, wow.
Those blacks.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Disruption Podcast.
Hello.
260. We're here. It's Noah the Baghdaddy.
It's Chief Olusoji in the building, baby.
He's the prince.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Sadly, Marwa is not here.
So sad music here.
Actual sad.
Yep. She's not feeling too well, apparently. She would have loved to be here, but instead, we do have a guest. And some would say we're undone to have her here.
Word, with that. I like that.
Are we celebrating mediocrity, man?
Hey.
Low-hanging fruit.
I have my biggest haters in this room and my closest friends.
Hey, man.
We got Kudzai here.
Come
Thank
on.
you, Johnny.
Kudzai in the building.
Indeed. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. What else is some of that good stuff that these people need to do, man?
That's about it.
Ratings. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Spotify.
yeah.
Give us a rating. If
Yes.
you listen on there, please do. You know what I realized about Spotify ratings the other day? Because I was some friends have actually shout out to Student
Shout out
Booted.
Student
They do their
Booted.
podcast here. Top
We have
5
grown.
sports podcasts
We
in
have grown
Australia.
the top 5
Damn,
sports
I
love
podcasts
that for
in
them.
Australia.
I
We did that.
I try to find out where we're at.
Yeah, and the
couldn't
guys
find
were all right. Yeah, I'll F my story.
So, is that? That's what you're gonna say?
Let him talk. Go ahead, carry on.
We'll let you know. Go.
And then I go to rate it on Spotify because they're like, yo, just show some love, rate it. I've never listened to it on Spotify. I always watch on YouTube, or I'm in the room for it.
Come on. Because we grew
Because
that.
I'm the producer of the show, and you can't rate it unless you've actually listened to an episode on Spotify.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I was actually pretty smart. Like
I
keeps
love that,
things
yeah.
pretty
No one can just
authentic.
go,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
I hear
Like
what
an-
you're saying.
yeah, or
Like the full episode halfway through.
You have to listen. I think it was at least like
20 seconds.
30 minutes or something like that.
30
yeah,
minutes
yeah,
is
like a
crazy.
decent amount of listening to the thing.
Does that include just skipping?
I feel like that's relative to episode length.
Yeah.
Because if someone's got a 20-minute
Yeah.
episode,
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Damn.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. But yeah, if
on
you are on
numbers.
Spotify, give us a rating. If you're on any of the other ones, also give us a rating.
Yes, please.
I feel like your TikToks need some love too. You guys put in a lot of effort with your TikTok account.
I mean,
You need
just
some
post.
love.
No, yeah.
I
No,
feel
people
like-
are not taking y'all seriously. Y'all need to go like and repost the TikToks.
We're not taking ourselves seriously. Mo hasn't posted one in a week. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Wow, I think she's not here.
Hey,
Not here.
Miles not here.
We gave her the role to
Come on
alleviate
now.
Noah from his
Yeah, yeah,
stresses, and now she's not doing her job.
How
She's
are
under
you, though?
review.
I am good. I am tired after the weekend, but I am
Yeah,
good.
you
You're out trapping,
Yeah.
huh?
You had a big
Bruh,
weekend.
it was a big
Coming
one.
home at 4 a.m.
Yeah, trapping and rapping.
Bro, literally, it was crazy. And I'm the kind of person who goes to bed at 9 p.m. So like, that was wild.
She just told us that we need to wrap this up in an hour and a half, so that's cool.
That's not what I meant. That's not
No
what I
worries,
meant.
no worries. We'll keep it in
Don't worry,
mind.
don't worry. We will.
I can stay awake. I had some coffee before this,
Oh my
actually.
gosh. So it was a wild one, huh?
It was a wild one.
I
It
want
was
to dive
crazy.
into it, but I don't want to dive into it yet.
Yeah.
'Cause There's a whole story behind what happened on the weekend.
Damn.
I mean, for you at
Oh,
least.
okay.
But for you guys, what was your week? Because we had the best weekend.
Before we get on that,
Well, no, you
part of my
didn't.
weekend. All right. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I said, no, you didn't, because you weren't at other locations.
Anyways, we'll get to that.
But tell me about the best
a war
weekend you had.
outside.
Go on.
I don't want to promote step 1 anymore
Why?
because I started wearing Skims.
Come on.
No,
He's
when I
keeping up.
the most comfortable
Yeah.
boxers I've
No.
ever worn in my life.
Oh, word.
Like genuinely, Kim
Wow.
Kardashian, this is the best thing she's ever done
Is this
since
common knowledge?
Since Ray
that
J.
video. Yeah.
Oh.
No, but like actually,
It's a long gap of
yeah.
nothing in the career. of
Props to her.
According to you.
whatever she's done. But like this, genuinely, I'm like, yo, this makes, because you know how like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she kind of seems to be falling back from mainstream attention.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because like, yo,
Stuff is
she
doing
found
well.
a business that it's like, this is her Fenty. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
yeah.
I don't need to do anything else. Like I'm a legitimate,
I'm good. Yeah, proper.
I'm a tycoon at this point.
You know what's crazy at that point? It's like, what? Like, you couldn't have... To be honest, maybe because everything else you were doing was leveraged
Built
off of
you
people's
to-
attention.
Yeah.
And just
Exactly.
garnering that and harnessing all of that attention and
Yeah.
people looking at you. And now it's like, yo, this vehicle drives itself.
No. And like now it's like she has a brand, let everyone else do the
Yeah, for
attention
you.
for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like she's never modeling. I mean, I'm sure she posts on her socials and stuff, but it's like she's smart. She's going to like Jude Bellingham, Vinny, all these like athletes, right? I'm sure she's in the NBA throughout.
Whoa, what do you mean by that?
Hey, yo.
Relax. Well, you know, she was in the NFL. But like, it's very, very smart and genuinely, like, I'm not even being wooed by the brand here or anything. I'm like, they are the most comfortable underwear I've
If
ever
I
worn.
check your phone right now, there's a DM to Kim Kardashian.
Trying to get a brand deal.
Do your
My
kids need a
unpopular
father?
opinion is I don't think she should take all the credit for the success of Skims.
Okay, good. Who else?
Oh, but okay, let's
There's
see this.
actually a lady called, I'm pretty sure she's behind Skims as well. Emma Greed, who is behind Good American, Skims. Their mum has like a cleaning product company and someone else. So she's like managing all their like brands.
that's
and
smart,
she is a boss.
Good
like
on her.
she is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, I'm sure Kim's doing her little
Yeah,
one-two
no,
with
fair enough.
Skims, but you know, behind the
Yeah.
scenes, there's somebody who's running.
I
things.
feel like that's always the case.
That's
though.
literally like, I mean, do we think Rihanna's making Fenty products?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Rihanna's too busy with ASAP Rocky, you know what I mean? Building her own family.
No,
Yeah.
she's
She's
building
probably
Fenty
said-
ground up.
She's probably
Yeah.
said, hey,
It's that
someone...
ground up with $1 million seed money into there. Come on.
and all the
I'm sitting on a
people
million-
of all the gender.
Bro,
All of them and all of their.
if I'm sitting on $1 million, you guys come afford that this for me.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of makes
It's
sense.
mental.
Is there like a men's line with Fenty or anything at all?
I think maybe skincare and hair care.
Yeah, I'm
That's
with that
pretty-
then. I might have to.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, I think she recently launched hair care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is
for
Fenty hair.
men or like.
Hair is.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I think yeah, nah, there's Fenty. I'm sure men can definitely
She
use it
take
as
care
well.
of ASAP Rocky for good, huh?
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's well taken care of.
Yeah. Him.
Can you all sit into that position
Yes.
nicely? Okay, wow, didn't even.
He didn't even hesitate. He's like,
didn't
yes,
even-
I can't wait to
I
be
didn't
taken
even-
care of.
ASAP Rocky's
Yeah,
position.
like in terms of like Rihanna's Rihanna, ASAP Rocky is ASAP Rocky, right? In his own right.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
amazing.
That's the thing. Is like we're doing the whole like he's not a bum.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Like he has a proper.
He's just a bum in comparison.
That's what I'm saying.
to-
But it's like if you can be compared to your gal and you're the bum though,
Yeah.
like are you okay with like that's what the rest of the world thinks. That's what the rest of the world thinks.
Do you guys actually look at him and go like, "You're a bum"?
I don't think that he's a bum, but I think that he's having a good
No.
time.
Like you go like,
he's being
you go
looked
like
after.
she clearly is,
Like he's
it's
being looked
the
after nicely.
brand here.
Like
Listen, he
yeah.
wouldn't have to work and she'd have the bills taken care
Like,
of.
Like-
you brothers have to work as well,
Like,
but,
babes, he's
I just-
focused on being loyal, being a great
No,
dad right
hey, bro,
now.
ASAP Rocky got money.
Of course.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, for me, I think there's levels to it. I think if, let's say they go, hey, babe, let's move to LA. Let's get this apartment in LA. He might not have that kind of money for that LA apartment. But Rihanna said,
That's crazy. That
but Rihanna,
ASAP
but
definitely-
ASAP Rocky has LA money.
but Rihanna about said, don't worry, I got you.
Yo.
Because there's levels to it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Because Fenty is, did he hit $1 billion?
Oh,
I think
she's
so,
well
yeah.
past $1 billion
Yeah.
herself. The brand,
Like
I'm
her
sure,
own.
is worth.
Yeah,
more.
that's what I mean. So clearly, I'm not, yeah, obviously it's not
Like,
about
what about them ones where it's like, all right,
I can fall into that position, but it's because it stops being about money at that level of wealth.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
Like he's not worth less than 50 million,
Wow.
right? Like he can't be. And
he said, I hope for him.
no, but like,
Wow, 50 million to $1 billion. Damn.
it's like you guys really need to realize I do not feel sorry for the guy in one part.
no one feels
You know what I
over
mean?
it.
So, like, even if he's
That's what I'm
not,
saying. He's living life.
if he's not 50 million, it's 30 million, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it's not about money at that. Because like, what can you
course.
buy at 30
That's-
million
I was more
that you can't
gonna-
buy at
yeah.
$1 billion,
But
right?
what I'm saying is
it's
more
just
the
that
conversations.
it's
that
just
she-
the what people
yeah.
see or like they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, your girl's the billionaire. That's gone.
like on the vibe of like, you know,
That's all right.
she just got back from the meeting. Oh, sorry, babe, I actually can't disclose that with you right now. I'm under NDA, but you know, it'll come out soon. You know what I mean? Like those kind of. Okay.
I think even invitations as well.
Like,
Like,
man's just, he's just at home waiting.
no, 100%. I think when you do reach a certain level, I can imagine them reaching out to
taps on
Rihanna.
the
Like,
shoulder.
it's like, yeah, Rihanna, yeah, this is the $1 billion club, right? Can I bring ASAP? No. So
ticket.
yeah, I think it's not so much about what you can buy now. It's more on the conversations that you'll be having, the type of people that you may have access to, and the invitations as well to certain places. So that could be that.
Free the guy, man, but not free the guy at the same
That
time.
I could be in that position, so I'm good.
Let's get to the weekend chat because there's one little thing I wanted to bring out around the weekend, and then we'll go into the best weekend ever.
Apparently, our weekend is second tier.
What did you want to bring out? You're asking a question before we jump into
man,
that.
bro, for me, I don't know when the last time I actually went out on like a Friday, Saturday night. I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah.
But man, that weekend was good.
What is it that
Bro,
got you like that?
Two things. I think number one, the weather played a huge
The weather's
role.
beautiful.
But it's very wholesome. That weekend was wholesome. Obviously we what did we do Friday? Afro Ball. I was thinking of Saturday. Afro Ball on Friday. That was cool. The food was a banger. Every time I see people, they're just talking about your vlog.
That was so good.
Bro,
I have to talk about.
bro, they're like, yeah, hey, the food that you had on that plate. They were going crazy. But no, Afro Ball was a vibe, man. It's just cool to spend time with you guys as well. So that was cool. Saturday was beautiful. Shout out to AYI, that documentary that they did as well. Reclaim Voices. So that was a beautiful moment. First time we drove all the way down to Melton.
My goodness,
that
I'm
was a
never
different
making
country.
that drive again.
That was wild.
I actually can't.
Melton, you guys, that's
I didn't
support.
realize. I actually didn't know how far Melton was.
That's far.
Yeah. Now, I know things and places are far.
Bro, when was
but I
it?
didn't
No,
know
it's
Melton was far.
I think the last time we went was like 5 years ago, bro.
So
You make it sound so far away.
it's like 65 kilometers from
Yo,
the city.
yeah,
We're
when
on the other side,
bro,
and we're 60
Bro,
from
73 kilometers, bro.
Normally, I look at kilometers and I can like gauge, but this one is one of those ones. My eyes did these ones. I said, "Where am I going?"
Yeah.
And then the time, even with toll, oh my,
Yeah, no, that's the worst part.
Oh yeah, we took tour. Damn, bro.
bro, my car needs a service, man. After that,
We road tripped.
too many K's racked
Yeah,
up. Bro.
but that was a vibe.
Yeah.
Just checking out, what everyone over there has been up to as well, and then followed by Lydia's birthday. Shout out to Lydia as well. The conversations there were just
So
different.
this is what I want to say.
Bro, this is how I know real quick. This is how I know we're having a good conversation. We're sitting on the chair. We swing our
My
legs.
legs
bro.
were swinging
Our legs
off.
were swinging eating Nando's, bro.
Fam,
Oh my days.
Nando's,
Legs
KFC,
swing.
everything.
Bro.
We had too many donuts and pieces of cake, bro. I couldn't tell you how much, man. Good time. This is what I want to say. We might need to bring back APs.
Bring back what?
Apartments.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I don't know,
Yeah.
like,
bro.
I don't know what. Okay,
It
then
hits
I'll say
different.
this, and if someone can invite us to one next Saturday, I'll get that. Say this is the worst
but
night
I
of
got
my
roof.
life.
First of all, that was a nice apartment. So the balcony was the size of most people's apartments.
Yeah.
Was it an apartment or was it
Penthouse.
like the?
Penthouse
Oh.
So
Like
Okay.
big, like sliding, like outside was just
I think
views.
because like
Damn.
there's ones where things are just flowing,
yeah.
converse flowing, and you're just there having a good time.
And you're talking to people that you don't normally talk
Yeah,
to, but you're like
and
let's
you know
just
you
chat.
like, you see them, whatever, but like not normally do we sit down and get extensive in the chats.
Yeah.
But I was up there like, this kind of. This is what it felt. This is what it used to, I don't know if this is what it used to feel like, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think there were a lot of more madnesses going on back in the other days when APs were about.
Yeah.
I don't think they were
Tellies.
this nice and wholesome. Yeah, back when we
No.
called them Tellys. You know what I'm saying? I
People
think,
still call them Tellys.
yeah, no, those people.
They-
need to be
those-
locked
Anyone
up.
that calls it Telly's,
Those people
should
I
be
don't want to
listening
go
I'm
there.
saying.
Anyone that calls it Telly, I'm not going.
I'm not coming. Yeah, I know what that
Don't call it a
is.
Telly. No, exactly.
Hey, brother, you want to come to the Telly? Lose my number.
No.
Lose my number.
Right.
I am a chatter guy.
Hey, police, there's
police.
there's unsafe happenings.
I said there's an unsafe. It was just cool being around people like that, and I don't know what it was. We didn't stay out too late even or anything like that. Yeah. But it was just a wholesome time, just being around people. And like normally, you know what's the funny part? This is how you know I was having a good time. Normally, I'm thinking about getting in my car. Like I'm dreading sitting here having a chat. Like I love and I could even like try to find. I reckon that balcony we were on, there was a perfect opportunity for me to just be on my phone cooling off. There was a guy just thinking about life, sitting down. I actually should have checked on him, see if it was okay. But there was one guy just sitting looking.
He had a 45-minute conversation with someone.
He needed to think, yeah.
After that convo, he went outside, just sat down, looked straight at
He said, "How can I take over the world?" He was sitting there like,
he was like, "What the heck am I doing wrong?"
with my life.
It'd be like that.
But literally, normally I would just want to like chill out, let these two hold down a convo. But I was like, "This, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time." Maybe it was a right selection of people, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think so.
But I'm with it, man. Bring back the APs potentially, yo. I don't know.
I feel like I'm get like barbecue age now, like
Barbecues are fun.
backyard barbecue age.
Barbecues
Are we still trying to do APs?
No,
Aren't we?
but no,
When do you cross over into?
like I feel
Because
like
a
you have
5
negative-
p.m. event is really nice.
A 5
p.m. start?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in bed by 10.
Nah, but see, 5 p.m. could end up finishing at like 1 a.m. if the vibes are
But
If the vibes is
but
right.
it's like finishing wholesome one.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like but
Good
there's
night,
board
get home
games.
safe, guys. Yeah.
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 So what stage at life do you think you're at? Are you at that barbecue? Are you at that clearly not at the apartment because
Hey,
it sounds
yo,
like
you know what
you sound like you're just roasting the apartment situation.
No,
But
I
what
love a situation of
stage?
the vibe.
What stage of activities do you think you're at?
I love being at home. That is the stage.
That's the
I'm
stage.
at.
The sleeping area, the
just
9:30
sleeping.
p.m.
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
so
situation.
bad.
Friday, Saturday as well.
Yeah, my sister was laughing at me when she came to visit because every night got my pajamas, take a shower, got my pajamas on,
Sister's
make my
more
cup
active.
of tea. I'm ready to like watch something before. I'm like, oh,
Friday,
this is
Saturday
nice.
night. You will do a double whammy back to back shift.
Also, it's been winter, guys. Where were we going?
That don't stop nobody. Yo.
Yeah, it stops me. I said,
Hey.
y'all have fun.
So that's the stage you're at. What about you guys? What stage do you feel like you're at right now?
I'm at the games night.
You actually seriously on now.
Yeah.
I'm heavy on games night.
that's
Yeah.
banger.
But a little 1-2 weekend,
Yeah.
you'll catch me
still
outside.
You know why? Like, it's because you
I'm
want to
gonna
still.
shake a leg.
I'm still young.
I'm gonna shake one
Yeah.
leg, bro.
You know, like I can't.
I can see
Because that's gonna run out eventually, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like eventually everyone's gonna be way too busy.
Yeah.
While we're not way too busy, let's just abuse
gonna
this
do
while
it.
we can,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in that bag right now.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Did it ever cross your mind real quick? Did it ever cross your mind where you're like, I don't know if I can be out because I'm married?
Did it cross my mind?
No, not out to these sort of events, but it's just more of, you know what I mean? Where it's like, now that I'm...
I hear that.
Because you guys, to be honest...
You got
probably
work to do at home.
The only couple that's probably married
Damn.
Probably
No,
about to be the only
in a
couple
lot-
married for the next 5 years. You
in-
see how
okay.
serious
In a lot
the
of-
dating
wow.
scene is
Going
here?
on out here,
No, in
man.
a lot of these spaces, right? I'm not saying though, not club
Yeah, I'm
or
not.
whatever.
We at the strip club or something, man.
No, but
What's
you,
going on here?
Nah, I hear it.
but you.
Where you guys going?
Nah.
Okay,
see where he's
I'll give
going,
an
I see where he's
example.
going.
Okay, cool. Let me think of an event. Okay, I mean, obviously this is different because we're hosting, but like let's say top 50,
Yep.
right? That's more of like an evening kind of event.
Okay, I'll
thought
explain what he's
that was
asking. An event where basically everybody that is there is kind of there to flirt,
Right.
right?
He took it there. He took it
You know?
there.
Like, and it's like, because even at a certain point, like being in a relationship, not even marriage, you're kind of like, I don't know if I need to be there. It's like an extension of the club.
I'm just trying to clean up.
I don't need to be at the
That's a
club.
good way to describe it. An extension of the
Extension of the
club.
club.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Now, what else? Add some more. Make it
Okay,
more rounds.
Because like nobody's flirting at a barbecue.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
On the
Hold on.
ice,
See what I mean?
Can I get you a sausage?
Yeah,
man?
okay. Okay, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like, but there's two people flirting at the barbecue.
Okay, yeah.
This one is like
man.
more people flirting than not.
Right.
Crazy.
Which place?
I don't know. Whatever you're talking about.
But
Yeah,
add
but
more
if we
to
have
it.
more events,
At a
but
top
yeah,
50.
that's why I added like the top 50 here.
The kind of event where people go on like demon time. I feel
What kind of events? Oh, that.
Like, yeah, the kind of, where you know people like came here
to be honest,
with an
even a
agenda.
soji, huh?
Really?
Saying event like that?
Slightly.
Moving on.
Yeah, but you gotta mean because
Yeah, I
again,
hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be lying if I said no.
like, we'd
I
feel
think
like
what
in
it
that
is
space.
are we going together? And if we're not going together,
Who am I with?
Who am I with?
am I
Yeah.
And what time am I coming back?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I mean, I was already kind of phasing out of some of these other events
Yeah.
that are typically everybody, you know what time it is. You know what I mean? So I was already kind of out of that. But in terms of just, the general be outside. So for, even like going to your event or going to the AYI screening, going to, even,
Those
to be
are
honest,
like,
like even those events, people could also still, you know.
It's
what I mean?
different though.
Yeah, but that one is like
But like
You're coming to
I'm
listen
even
to a
thinking like
debate.
just
You know?
outside,
Yeah,
you know
out
what I
and
mean?
about.
Just being out and about, I even take it to that. Just being
Yeah.
out and about.
Yeah.
I think I was a little bit more like, okay, it's not everything that I'm gonna like try to be at right now. Like it's
Yeah.
time to spend some quality time together.
Yeah.
Like if Marwa's not coming with me somewhere, is it because she's at her sister's house or something, or her mom's, or maybe she's with my sisters, or she's just at home? And if she's just at home, how many times am I gonna make that be the case? Like that's kind
Yeah.
of wild, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That the home, the place that's meant to feel like home, there's always one person
person
missing
out
kind of thing. You know
now.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. So yeah, it would be that. But
That's big fact.
on the weekend, what was it again? I think because Carlos and I were together at Marwa's niece's birthday, and then we went to the AYI screening
yeah.
on the other side of the country in freaking Alton. And then after that, I went to Lydia straight. So I didn't see Marwa since like, what time was that? Maybe
You left at like
5:30.
5:30, yeah.
I think she messages me at around like 11 or something like that. She's like, wow, it's kind of crazy you haven't said you miss me yet. I said, oh. I was like,
That makes sense.
You know,
I think that makes sense.
Hey, you know what this guy's doing? Bro, Nando shaking the sweetie's legs, bro.
yeah, bro. And it's funny. You know,
That's what this guy was doing.
Even before I finished up, in my head, I was like, bro, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good
Bro, you
time.
should have seen the way this guy was swinging his legs. Oh,
Look
man.
at your phone talking about, wait, who's Marwa?
I've never
That's
backed
crazy.
6 wings that fast, man. And I was like, oh, what the heck? Of course, you know I miss you.
Baby, you know I miss you.
Yeah, literally, I was like, oh, no, I miss you.
Oxygen don't even be the same without you
Nah,
around.
definitely didn't do
I haven't
that.
laughed at a single joke.
Yo. Meanwhile, my jaw
Bro,
was
this guy
hurting,
was
bro.
dying, bro.
Hey,
And then I was like, hey, yo. I was like, oh, love you. She's like, if you love me, you'd be here right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, boys, wrap it up. Hey,
We gotta go.
on the bus, roll out. Right.
that's why he left without saying goodbye.
Bro, I got in the car with Carl. I was like, hey, did we say bye to Noah, bro? We just dipped.
I actually waved at you.
But by the way, we didn't dip because of Miles' text. We did because it was a good time to be leaving. Yes.
I mean, there's that too.
And also, it was time to get home.
But real quick, what phase do you think you're at in terms of like activities?
I enjoy all the more like wholesome stuff. I think anything where I think the one thing I'm at this stage where I'm like, I don't know if you'll ever catch me in a nightclub again.
Yes.
Like I'm not gonna say I'll never go, but I'm like I don't
He's
think
just covering himself just in case he gets caught on
No,
media.
because you know, like, oh, if something
I felt
happens and someone's like, oh, just come through tonight because it's my birthday or something. You know what I mean? But it's like me, I was like, I don't think I have the desire to ever go to a nightclub again.
What do you consider a nightclub, by the way?
Like, as in, yeah, now.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Do you want me to just do verbal diarrhea? A nightclub is an
Make
establishment.
the word count. Nah. Because what I'm saying is an event that maybe happens once every 3 months at a nightclub. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Like, do you consider that the
I
same
think
thing
that
compared to the
environment
weekly?
in general.
Yeah.
Like when it's like the cramp kind of, you know what I mean? People are like, the aim here is to drink and find somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whisper sweet nothings.
Come on.
It's not whispering, it's a nightclub. It's a
Yeah, it's mad.
But I think like your sojis, I'm always down to go to, your barbecues and those kind of things, games nights at people's homes.
Yeah.
Things like
That
what we
stuff,
did on the
yeah.
weekend, like that kind of stuff where it's like, yo, we're just like kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that I'm really down for. And I don't mind if like there's, you know, like some people are having alcohol or whatnot, but it's like if that's the central focus,
Then that's
I
fine.
think those are the events that I'm not there for because
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just, it doesn't.
He doesn't speak to you.
Yeah, I think it's that. It's not even on a moral thing or a faith thing or nothing. It's just like, oh, this is gonna be kind of boring if you're just.
Because you already know
Everyone's
the
wave.
types of conversations going to be
That's
happening.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's like like there's
Yeah.
nothing.
What kind of convers is the drunk liquor ones in those spaces then? Because I feel like they don't differ too much most times. Sometimes.
For me, it's never a fulfilling conversation.
Damn, just walk away drained, huh?
Nah, it's just more of like I'm just like yeah. You know, like
They just keep telling you how much they love you.
you know. So I'm just like, oh man, yeah. But that's
Oh my.
I think the crazy part is people are trying to deep life when drunk, but like their
Yeah, it's horrible.
brain
time.
nerves are not firing the way they
so-
should. So it's like, what are you saying?
Nah, yeah. When you have
What
this
do you
conversation,
have?
Because like I know Monday to Friday this week you didn't think about any of these things.
No, not once.
But like now it's here, but I'm like, damn. But even if I say something, it's not sticking.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna be talking and you're thinking, yo, can this guy shut up? So I can fill up my cup right now, bro.
oh man, the amount of times you'd have to find a way to exit a conversation. Oh my days. Yeah, just thinking about that.
Nah, it's mad. But nah, hey, bring back APs, man.
Hey.
That's
In
the
conclusion,
I thought that-
bring back the
We're
APs.
just talking about what environment are you trying to
Yeah,
get? I
man. In
thought that-
conclusion, bring back APs. Visit Penthouse. You might have to find my number, and then we can
Come
chat.
on.
We'll see what's going on.
Yeah. But let's talk about your weekend. What actually happened, and then we can backtrack a little bit about the lead up to that. But what happened on the weekend? Probably the best weekend ever. So
Look, I'm not gonna say best weekend ever because first of all, why didn't y'all say putting on an event is a lot? I have beef. Nobody wanted to.
I tried to tell you.
No, you didn't. What did you say?
I tried to tell you.
Different gravy over here.
I said good luck. You know,
good luck does not tell me
good luck
anything.
means like, hey.
No, I wanted to beef you all, even Montana. I was like, you don't want to give me more.
It's a lot. It really is a lot. Like
it's a lot. Yeah.
Like it is what August 26th right now, and I've started planning our event for December.
The live
Yeah.
show.
So,
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, live show in December.
Come on.
And I'll be there this time. I started to miss the last one. Yeah, so my podcast, Undone, had its first live event. It was a debate night. Yeah, it was a lot. It was good. It was so good.
Yeah. Talk us through the
conceptual.
No. Thank you. Talk us through the logistics of setting up the event and stuff, and then let's talk about the content of the actual event.
Oh, okay. So logistics. I probably knew a year ago that I wanted to do a live debate.
Okay.
What that looked like was completely different. And then at the start of the year, I was like, okay, let me start planning what that looks like. I was like, let me look around at grants. Let's see what happens. That idea did not eventuate. So then I was like, okay, cool. What's another way to do this without all of that?
With zero bread.
Literally, I was like, it's going to be an event that's put on with $0 as a starting budget. Won't God do it?
Won't we have a good time? Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, so then it was, to be honest, I think the hardest part of it is getting out of your own way. I had to, I was my own op. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The logistics, I'd put on events for other people and organizations and stuff. But I think when it's your own, I'm like, oh.
It's your baby.
Oh, this is mine.
Yeah.
Oh, are people going to come? Is it just going to be me in a room with the
Scary
debaters?
thought. Scary thought.
Literally. So yeah.
Yeah.
But on the day set up, I didn't do anything. My friends were amazing. I literally rocked up at 5:20. And everyone was working. Yeah, I got there and they did everything. They wouldn't let me touch anything either.
That's complete different.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of our live show last time.
No, they had everything ready to go. Even at the end of the night, they're like, here's your phone, here's your keys. This is what's in the back of your car. Bye. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, hey.
I
want for a team for this.
Yeah. I think we hire people. Yeah, wow. That's
yeah.
In terms of the content, because obviously we weren't there.
A live debate is
weren't there.
Yeah,
well, I mean, we were doing tit for tat. You didn't come to ours.
No.
So we were boycotting yours.
I made sure
Okay, we'll fix that. This December, I'm fixing it.
I made sure I had things on.
I made sure. Please, someone invite me to something.
I gotta be busy.
Nah, but I really wanted to be there. I just got invited to other events.
It's okay.
But yeah, we went there. But hopefully,
damn, bro. Fourth time he said we weren't there.
I'm gonna throw the mic at his head.
Hey, so we weren't there. So
we missed it. In conclusion,
I want to talk a little bit about the content.
Yeah.
And I guess you can tell us a little bit about what kind of questions you had in terms of debate, right? Because for me, when I think about debate, I think that we disagree on a particular topic.
Yeah.
Right. And your debate was all around.
Wait, let her tell it. Because just before you say the actual debate subject and stuff, why a debate? And then also, were you one of those kids that were into debating and school and stuff? Or are you just argumentative?
I actually did debate in primary school.
Yeah, I rate it.
I was like, I haven't seen anything like this. And when I got to Melbourne, I'd kind of been checking out different events. And I was like, no one's done a debate. Why wouldn't you? It's just...
I mean,
to be honest, we actually
got some veterans in the room that have done one before.
We actually,
don't listen to these guys. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, we did one.
Keep going. I'll actually show you some videos.
Was it 2 years?
When?
We actually done a debate.
It was actually 3-4 years ago.
3-4 years
okay,
ago.
I
So it was a while ago.
I hadn't moved here yet. So
you didn't come and get G-check.
Wait, where are you from?
Where are you from? What's your story?
Suppose I can tap into this market. No one has done
I was
anything.
like, nobody's done this. Innovative.
Come on.
It's kind of empty over here.
Let me put you all into barbecues.
Have you heard of that?
They're going to love this one, man.
And we can go home by 10.
Can you imagine?
What do you think?
But we're from
King Julian.
To answer that. And then continuing the other stuff.
I moved from this regional town in Queensland called Townsville.
I was going to say Townsville.
Yeah, yeah.
So sorry.
So that's where I was. Yeah, thank you. I need it. So that's where I was coming from.
Okay.
No, you guys hadn't done it in the 2.5 years I've been here. So
Factuals.
I was like, untapped market. Let's do this.
Nah, for real.
And I guess for the theme or kind of what I go for with the podcast, it like made sense as like a first event to be like, this is what we're about, listening to different perspectives that you might disagree with and coming away with something.
Yeah.
So debate made sense.
Yeah.
What was the theme of it?
The theme. So what it started as and what it became were a little bit different.
Okay.
It was supposed to be the Black African community's interaction with the justice system and the relationship like with crime.
Okay. Right.
I think on the night we definitely ended up focusing a lot on youth crime and like young people. I had like 8 questions prepared. I got through like 3, and even then we went over time. I was like, okay, whatever. And like,
Wow. Okay.
it is what it is because I allowed audience participation.
Yeah.
So once you let the audience go,
They want to say something.
yeah,
You
they
need to be
people
able
have
to
things to
oosh
say.
them, yeah.
Yeah. The debaters I had were amazing. I really just sat there and I was like, wow,
who was
this
the
looks
panel?
fun.
Top tier.
So I had Mariam Cosley, I had Abram Cole, I had Charmaine, and I had Titan.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. So when I picked it, I knew that 2 of them sat on opposite ends of the spectrum and the other 2 would sit in the middle.
Oh, in terms of actually like
Opinions.
opposite ends in terms of opinions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, just the couch.
Yeah. No. Funnily enough, they actually, and the 2 on the opposite ends of the spectrum sat next to each other on the couch. And I was
That's
like, oh my God.
We can all coexist.
Yeah, no, because I had conversations. And so I knew that we were all agreed on what the issues were and what the main themes were, but how to get there and how that
resolutions
was
and stuff.
like
Okay.
viewed was different.
Yeah.
Wait, so which 2 disagreed heavily, by the way?
Sure. I wouldn't say disagreed heavily. They just have different approaches. So Mariam and Abe have different approaches. They also have different. They also have different. What's it called? What's the word? Professional backgrounds. Yeah. So Mariam's done a lot of like youth justice work, mentoring. In space, and she's also a journalist. Abe is done a lot of community work and he's currently doing his PhD on South Sudanese youth and the what's it called? The youth centers. So they were looking at it from like different perspectives. Yeah. And they had different interactions and experiences with it. So yeah, their opinions were like different. And then you had someone like a Charmaine who could hold both experiences and like communicate that to the audience and how like what she would argue. So I really didn't have to do much, I'm not gonna lie. I think I said like 50 words the whole night. They were doing their thing. Literally, I was like sitting off to the side like, wow, this is so fun. Like,
Where's my phone and keys?
So yeah.
So how does it work when setting up a debate? Do you go, all right, cool, this is the topic, and I know Daniel and Noor are gonna disagree because I know where Daniel stands and I know where Noor stands? Because I saw some of the questions and I was like, I'm curious to know who would even be on this end, because it felt like the question, what was the question? Something about is being a criminal is innate or best in your environment. And I was like, who says that it's innate? You know, that was sort of thing. So
On that, did anyone have the opinion that it's innate?
Yes.
There's some good
I can imagine why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember all that stuff that I used to remember, the epidemiology, all them things.
Yeah. So
the
we
genes, the histones, all
got
of that.
epigenetics came up, like the whole thing. So
Thank God, another biomedical scientist.
although you let us down explaining.
Hey, I butchered the malaria. Sorry, sickle cell.
Malaria, sickle cell.
But I
messaged him. I was like, what was that explanation, dude? Like,
whatever.
Wait, okay, on that then. If certain...
Oh, no, he's going to do it.
I'm going to ask the question.
go on.
Good
Ask
question.
it.
If the findings say that, or people hold an opinion that certain ethnicities or races or whatever are innately more violent or prone to crime or whatever the question is, would that not then justify in a multicultural society what we would call racism?
So it's a whole thing. There were people in the audience actually who agreed because we had like audience participation. Like, okay, if you think it's innate, put red. If you think it's like whatever degree. And there was like 4 brave people, shout out to them, in a room of like 74 people who were like, innate.
I think this is in you.
Yeah, wow.
Those blacks.
Literally.
I came here for this question.
See, man, said I was hoping this is on you.
That's my favorite one.
She asked the question, he won't go, yes! I told you.
Someone else who thinks like me. Yeah, so when epigenetics was brought up, it was like, okay, yeah, there is data to prove that like genetically, someone's makeup and like all those like different criminals and the psychopaths and all the people that you love to watch documentaries about, their genetics are different and their brains fire differently to everyone else. But then it's like, what has happened to them genetically? Then we have to talk about intergenerational trauma,
of course, yeah.
and how that impacts someone's genes and how that then gets passed on to the child. So like, if we're saying it's innate, is it really innate, or is it a thing?
Is it like learned behavior back then?
Exactly, and how that has been like passed on. So yeah, in conclusion, no, it's not innate. People are a product of their environment, even if that environment starts in the womb.
Okay,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's actually factuals.
What other questions was that created the most disagreements in the room?
Ooh, created the most disagreement in the room. So actually, this one was funny. Charmaine started with an unpopular opinion where she had said she believes that as an African community, we have enough resourcing and like wealth and all that kind of stuff to be able to do our own thing, build our own
like
thing.
self-supply.
Cool. I said, I love that. I agree. Let's get a temperature check of the room. Red if you disagree.
Everybody's
Green
like,
if it was like 60-40. Like people weren't really there. People were like,
That's a bit high though.
I don't know if I agree. Like there are people who are like, yeah, I agree. Some people are like, I don't agree. Abe is talking about how like the narrative was around how the Chinese will come into a country and they don't let that country's perceptions of them dictate how they perform and what their outcomes are.
They just
and
say
how
we're going to have Chinatown.
Yeah, and how we should do the same. People are like, yes, wow, fantastic. I'm like, so when Charmaine said, and y'all said, no.
You think it's because she's a woman? That's a serious question.
With that, yeah, fair. With
That
that
could
point
definitely be
though,
profit.
Like Abe's
I think it's very. I think it's different though in terms of how aggressive some narratives are pushed as well. Though sometimes, like, and how certain communities are allowed to even establish too. Because I mean, I forgot Jeremy mentioned this recently, but in terms of the imagery and how like
The marketing. It's the marketing around races.
Yeah, how a population or group is viewed is there's differences in how that's pushed, how that's marketed, etc. So I feel like it's a very different ball game to talk about how you can just like not let blah blah blah's narrative. Like it's all well and good to be like, I'm not this, and then no, you are, buddy.
Yeah,
and they'll continue to talk to you like that. Limit and stifle and institutionally structure things to actually stop you from being anything other than what they're telling you. So I'm like,
which
it's a bit techie.
People in the room actually, from what I could read, because of Mariam's experience with like journalism and like just the work that she's done, and also because she has done a lot of activism, I think a big part of her messaging was also communicating that the systems and structures that we're a part of are actually part of the big problem and what we're going through, and make it that much difficult for us to be able to do things. But I don't, for whatever reason, I don't think that resonated with as many people. I think they found it to be radical, but I'm like, the reality of it is, like, if we want to talk about immigration policy now, let's just as a small example, if we're talking about the White Australia policy, the only reason they had to get rid of that was because they needed more people to come in and do work. So I'm like, fine, we'll let in the other colored migrants. Gosh darn. They said, damn, we have to let in the blackies. Yeah. they open it up, but then you look at like the English test that you have to do. I'm like, I've never met an Australian. Okay, not never, but like, how many Australians speak English, write English to the level that they require an immigrant to? Like, be so for real. Yeah. And all these barriers that they've put in. So it's like that system and that structure is still in place. They've just put makeup on it and tried to, and so
made it look like a baddie, huh?
Yeah, literally. It's like, no, it's still not giving what it's meant to give. So it was interesting to find that. I think, people don't resonate or maybe don't have as much insight into some of the structures and things that are at play.
I think so, Ruka. I was gonna say, I think there's that, but I also think as well, sometimes people don't want to feel minimized too. Like, you don't want to feel like there's so much. And I know I've had that mentality as well. I'm like, okay, stuff that and what?
I'm not a
still
victim.
Do me. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's good to have that, but then I guess the awareness that is still in terms of the landscape that you have to navigate in is important to have. But I think sometimes people just like, I'm sick of the system's talk, man. Yeah. I have the power. I'm going to act on that.
I think that's like a lot of people.
Okay, buddy.
Brick wall, man.
You're like, what's going on?
I think you're right. I think that's a lot of people's experience. But also the people that you had up, completely different. Their backgrounds is different. What they do for work is completely different. So I can understand someone like Miriam, her experience being completely different to someone like Abraham's as well. Yeah. And I'm a bit familiar with them and a bit of like their line of work as well. It's just, I think as people, we tend to resonate more with someone's story, right? Because that's more of like, that's what my day-to-day looks like. It's looks more like, let's say, Abraham's more than it looks like Miriam's. If that sort of makes sense. So that's why I can understand when she's saying her point, people are not really getting it because she is working on this sort of.
There are things that she's privy to that people aren't as privy to.
Yeah, because for me, even when I look at it, when I'm thinking of black journalists, I mean, right now I can only probably think of 3 or so. Right, I think even most people across the board can't even think of too many black journalists.
Bro, besides black, just different other than white culture, to be honest.
If we go that, so I can understand why no one probably gets what she's saying because she might be experiencing a completely different issue in that world. Right, where someone like Titan and Abraham, I can sort of see how they could face similar issues. Right, and then also someone like Charmaine, but also in terms of this conversation of resources, it really just depends on, because we actually had this conversation at a build-up as well. I think some organizations were saying, I think there is good support, right? But also because they were getting funding, when they apply for funding, it would allow them to do what it is they need to do. Because the government is saying, here's $100,000 to go off and do that. But also another organization is saying, no, there is no support because when I need you guys to do this, like you guys ain't coming through. So no, because you guys can see what the impact of giving us money and what that would look like in the long term. Right. So it's actually quite interesting how different people will look at the same thing completely different just based on the relationship with the system and the government.
100%.
With that in mind, and especially with like being privy to different things, how do you guys go when it comes to like, or how openly do you share certain things? So, for example, just like in terms of you've had certain conversations, you've met certain people. And like your eyes have been opened into like what's possible, what can be done here, how to navigate this, how to do that, whatever. Do you find yourself sometimes holding back or choosing where you share these types of information sometimes? I guess why? What is the dictator of who can hear some of these things? Because for me, sometimes I can't lie, I've found myself being in situations or like conversations or like circles or whatever, and they're talking about something, and I'm like, I actually know that. Okay, you can actually access this and that, but I'm just like, but I don't want to share that right now. I don't want to open that can of worms right now. Or
I think that's. I don't think
this knowledge should be in your hands right now. Something like sometimes gatekeeping. But in a way, like we need to have the right stewards, bro. You know what I mean? No, guys, let me sit up.
No, because you're digging a hole right now.
You know what I mean? Because I'm just sometimes I'm like. Yeah. Maybe this is not the right holder of this info. Like I don't know. Do you guys sometimes find yourself being aware of certain things and then yet still holding back, even though you know that these are good pieces of information, whatever it might be? Like, what comes to mind?
Are you gonna go?
I'm thinking.
I would say
Yeah.
I do. I don't have an example, but. You know, sometimes you just listen to people speaking, and you're like, oh, but, and you're like, even if I said anything, would you take it on board? Like, would you actually take it on board? Would you listen? Would
Wasting
you believe?
Would you? Like that,
yeah, so it's just like, You'll figure it out.
Oh no, let me see. Good.
Wait, is this in a particular environment?
I think any environment.
Any
is optimal.
environment?
Yeah, for that for sure. Yeah.
Well, like not saying something.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Yeah, I think so.
And why? Like, I mean,
To be honest, I think a lot of times it's like, is it going to change anything? But also a lot of times I just can't be bothered. Like, it's bad. The 100%. I think if I'm in the right space, number one, and it's the right environment, then it's like, okay, cool. Let's have this conversation. And there's some cases where I've actually done that as well. But there's also a lot of cases where it's like, man, this requires this. You know,
Go around.
and you also
like
realize
this.
a lot of these things. It's no one is going to understand this straight away right then.
Yeah.
It's over time, right? It's like, okay, cool. I'll start the conversation today, but I know you're not going to understand up until 3 months time. But every time we link up, that conversation
chat
sort
again,
of, you know, develops a little bit more, and then they go, "Hey, you remember this 3 months ago?" And that's actually happened with one of my mates, actually. So yeah.
okay, because I was just like, do I feel like a bad person? Because sometimes I really,
saying or not
I just,
saying?
For not, I'm just like,
Yeah.
saying
Some things
space
people need to figure out on their
right
own.
now. Yeah, but I'm like, you could, especially sometimes you're just hearing, maybe it's like you're hearing people just argue about a particular thing even sometimes.
And you're like,
But also there's
You
some
guys
people,
just don't know, like, actually, this is what the case. But then I'm just like, you know what, just.
I think it depends because
hold
I
that.
also know a lot of people don't take it well as well. So I'm like, okay.
Don't take being challenged on what they already think.
Yeah, you know, because I'm like, you know, I know you and you're not very open to be challenged as well.
Yeah.
And I've seen people act childish as well
Yeah.
when it comes to this kind of conversations or you try to challenge them, especially when there's other people around. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
If I was to do it, maybe on a separate thing.
Side.
In the line of being challenged here, this question came to my mind on the car, like on the drive here. I was just wondering, do you guys have any burnt bridges? Like that you can actually actively think about, like, oh yeah, that's a burnt bridge.
Like
actually.
a burn a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's finished. Even the land caught on fire too. The water's gone. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
everything finished.
Damn.
I actually have one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you share whatever can
No,
be
I'm
shared.
going to share. No.
You're not going to share, you're going to share.
No, I'm going to share. I'm absolutely going to share.
Okay, very good.
100%.
Let me get my tea or so.
So it was like
Bro, guys
2020.
love drama.
2020, yeah, right? I'm in Townsville. And there was this guy at church, and like we were friends. He's a lawyer, lol, not me giving out all the details. We don't identify
The
him.
whole church
Hey,
knows.
that's all we needed, bro. Hey, you go to church, there's only one lawyer in that town.
Yeah, come on now.
There's one and a
The
half,
town
bro.
lawyer.
Someone's trying. The town lawyer.
So we were friends, and we are both ethnic. He's not black, but we're both ethnic. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, like we're cool, like we get along, right? No.
That's all we needed.
We have each other.
No. That was
We have each other.
That was context. Let me land.
Contextually,
Yeah, that was
down, but
context.
Okay, yeah.
Can you say what ethnicity? I will bleep it.
He was.
Bleep that.
Yeah, I was like, surely wait. I'm gonna watch this episode. If I find you,
I don't know why that's.
I don't know why that shook me.
me up.
anyway.
Yeah,
Lawyer.
So we're like friends, and then 2020 comes around. Black Lives Matter is happening, and we're like, oh, beautiful time to like finally educate
Yeah.
these regional North Queenslanders about some issues, because some of you have been problematic. I just haven't had the platform to say anything up until now. So let me talk. And I am now finding out that he vehemently disagrees with everything. And like, I was like, I did not know this was your politics. Like, I'm so confused. But in saying that, I wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to, throw away the friendship. I mean, are we going to still be like tight? Probably not. And then I can't remember, I had posted something on my Instagram. He comments, I never thought you would be this intellectually lazy.
That's crazy.
I remember I was like, huh?
Whoa.
Can I be honest? I don't think you burnt the bridge.
No, I didn't.
I think he did.
The bridge got burned, but I didn't burn it. The bridge got burned. And I was like,
You just
oh.
didn't join him on his side. You left to yours. That's it.
I was like, I'm intellectually lazy for pointing out racism. Huh?
Wow.
It was so wild.
That's crazy.
And I remember I messaged him because I was like, I saw his comment.
Hey man, were you hacked?
No, why?
No, what? Something going on? That's crazy.
No, honestly.
What makes you say that?
I meant that shit.
That's still on business.
I was like, huh? So I messaged him because I'm like,
Come on, bro.
I'm like, you have my number. I would have thought if you
like if it's a conversation, like have it.
Yeah, I was like, I would have thought you would have come to me, like, and we could have had this conversation. You commented on my Instagram, like
My
that's
mom
what
sees
you
that.
and he like proceeds to be like, well, you posted on a public platform. I can share my opinion on a public platform too. I was like,
People with that opinion when your friends is crazy.
I think that's the thing.
Oh wow.
Nah, that's
I was mind blown. I said, okay, well, if that's how you feel, okay. I left this comment up and I let people flame him in my comment. I was like, you did say it was a public platform. If people want to flame you, they can flame you. Go ahead.
And you guys go to church together.
We did.
And then how was the
Afterwards,
Next service.
So the church is big enough. Contrary to popular belief, Townsville is not tiny. So it was big enough that we never had to interact again.
You know how I know Townsville's not a serious place?
No.
You know how like places are normally called like Georgetown or like
Freetown,
Rowville, or whatever.
Yeah.
This one they just said, let's take both of the ends, Townsville.
Yeah, let's put it together.
We need a name. That's not a serious place.
It's actually not. It's not a real place.
Serious,
Yeah.
I mean,
But that is very wild.
Yeah.
That is very wild.
I mean, even from that initial, because I know people that burn bridges because it's like, you don't,
it's crazy. You know how bridges were actually burned during
you don't
that
support
That period of
Bro.
time, like
Even COVID
relationships, people broke up. And we know people where they broke up over that. Like a whole bunch of stuff where it was just like,
I haven't deeped that
because
yet.
I think like they say like when it comes to choosing a partner or even like your closest friendships and stuff, you can't really be like they say it's so healthy to choose people that have similar political ideologies as you as well as religious beliefs, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking partner, even more so.
Yeah.
But it's like, because imagine actually being in a relationship or close friendship with someone and you're like, I think it's not good to shoot unarmed black people, and they're like, no.
Well, if the context are wrong.
But you
Whatever.
say
You
he
know-
was an addict, yeah.
Yeah, so we should shoot him, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, because I on one hand, like I hear the whole like being challenged kind of thing, but like I think there's areas where we should.
it's my moral compass.
Challenged in,
Yeah, within my moral compass is one thing, but then to like in your, especially if it's like your closest partnership as well, it's like to be on the opposite side of things. It means we view humanity differently.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That, I think that's a different issue. That's not yo, should I invite this lady that we kind of had a disagreement with over whatnot to our kids' second birthday versus like, yo, what do you think of immigrants? And it's like I'm like,
Illegal
I love them, and
aliens.
my wife's like, get them out of this country.
Build a wall.
You know, around Australia. It's very, very different. Yeah.
I actually fully forgot. That.
Yeah.
How many
that
bridges
period of
probably were
time.
burnt
Yeah.
in that time alone,
Because it was like, I was like, I want to be mature enough. I don't even think it's maturity, whatever it is, to continue to be in close proximity with someone who doesn't agree with me on this. But I'm like, I'm black. How can you like? This is kind of just the reality of my life and the wider community I belong to. Like, as the black diaspora community, I was like, and also because he was a person of color, I was like, just because you may not be black doesn't mean people don't look at you the same, sir.
You know, that's so funny. We had we had a family at our church that were in this story they like that. They actually are
Story.
in my story. They her story was something else. But we had a whole family, right? And they were like
So the whole family of them.
a big family of them, yeah.
Okay.
And then they were super pro-Trump, right?
Yeah, this guy was
Which
too.
I'll be honest with you, I'm the kind of person where I don't like none of the options in America. Ever,
Oh, they're trash.
right?
Sorry.
And no, they are.
Sorry.
No, they really are. And like at this point, like this year specifically, I'm like, I can understand why you'd pick either one
It's a good game
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
or neither. You know what I mean?
I feel so vindicated though as an Australian because they used to laugh at us like when our politics were a little chaotic when we couldn't keep a prime minister.
Yeah.
I was like, but look at what y'all have going on right now.
We can't act like
No, that was crazy.
No, it was embarrassing.
Back September. Oh, you stabbed me too. Like,
Yeah,
everyone
nah.
was just kidding.
There's sports clubs that have had less turnover in their coaches
Yeah.
than we had in prime
In
ministers.
prime minister.
But yeah, this particular family was so pro-Trump. And I remember someone mentioned something about him from the pulpit, which I was like, gross. Why would you do that at our church? And this whole family starts clapping and stands up and everything. and my dad, me and my dad were chatting about it after, and he's like, I don't know if they realize like he wouldn't really like them. Like it's just like, you know, that kind of thing where you're like, it's a little bit foolish. Like I can maybe go, yeah, because I don't think we also clock in America how many people of color across the board, and then also Black Americans are actually like, yo, I actually kind of rock with Trump.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like we have
100%.
Close friends which went and visited their family recently, and they were like talking to their family there, and their family's like, yo, we're really pro-Trump. And they're like, wait a minute, I thought in Australia we're fighting for you guys
No.
and they're like, no, we really like this guy. But it's one thing to go, yo, I think I might lean towards his policies or whatnot.
That's what I was gonna say.
On like, let's say socioeconomic stuff and economic stuff and all that kind of stuff, versus like full on as a minority person to be like, I love, like you see the Mexican,
I love everything that guy
the
stands
Mexican
for.
lady, like this is last time I was running, I love Mr. Trump. it's like, what are you doing? This is so embarrassing.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, burn bridges. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you burned any yourselves that you actively, you brought the kerosene
Light it up.
and lit it up, bro.
Burn.
Not in my adulthood.
So what in your
Like my late
how old were
teens,
you?
yeah,
Late
or
teens,
like
you were burning
15,
some
16.
bridges,
It
actively.
was that same family actually.
oh my god.
I think
Right
ultra
after,
conservative.
yeah.
Why do you have earrings now? And then the dad like pulls me to the side.
Oh.
And I'm like 15, 16. And I was like, okay, we're not doing this. and then like and just to give you context, like we don't have a close relationship.
Yeah, no, you're never doing this.
So it's like, why are you talking to me about this? Like, you're not even friends with my dad. You know what?
because he feels that there have been multiple lines where people could have said anything and they didn't. So it's now up to him.
So now it's up to him to save me
To save
from
you,
heresy
yes.
of earrings.
Oh my god.
And so like he starts talking about this old stuff, and he's like, you know, like it's not about doing what you want to do in this life and blah blah blah. And I was just like, what the frig is going on? And then yeah, this is such a random thing to share, but it's like then the whole fam got like real petty. Like the kids that were my age, like not talking to me all the time. I'm not gonna talk to them.
I'm not pressed.
My dad was like, you tell me if he ever approaches you about something again, I'll box him in the church.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I'll walk out with the car.
I was like, all right, this bridge is burnt.
Bridge burn.
No, you're better than me. I get too petty. Like if someone does that now I want to drag you and your whole family.
So-
like now we need to bring up everyone's
at the
dirt since
time-
I'm the only one.
At the time, I gave petty responses, but for a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Nowadays, impossible. Like, okay, let's talk about it. Sit down. I'm gonna school you.
I'm bringing out the files on everyone. Let's
you're
go.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no.
Wow. Maybe when I was a child.
A child, damn.
Yeah, I feel like high school, probably over something childish. You're not my friend.
Nah, we were not doing your.
Has it lasted till now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're saying some of that is lasted
There's no
till now?
I'm
the
not-
bridge hasn't been rebuilt.
That's crazy.
No, but sometimes the disagreements in high school might be a bit childish. And sometimes you actually, because remember, we're not mature, we're not grown, so we don't even think about, hey, let's sit down and resolve this. Where's the misunderstanding, right? I don't know if that happened, but I won't be surprised if it did happen. Adulthood, nah, not really. I mean, obviously, you know, disagreements here and there, whatever. But actively, for me, I have a thing with like, I'm not trying to like burn a bridge, you know?
Carlos is fairly
Light it up.
like
I was gonna
slow
say,
tempered as
yeah.
well.
Like I would, okay, cool. You did me
You give
dirty,
unproblematic.
whatever. Like, don't talk to me. You know, let's keep it pushing. You do what you gotta do, but I wouldn't say bridge burn. Like I don't want to hate. I don't want to have. I think there's a slight difference. So I don't want to have hatred in my heart. You know, because
That's my thing as well.
Yeah, because I feel like if you burn,
Hatred. Sometimes you just need to.
No one said you had that.
no, one said-
I don't think what it is.
no, but that's different.
I feel attacked.
I think it obviously
You
depends.
can do it without being hateful.
Obviously depends. Obviously, if someone does something to you that like you clearly disagree with, yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. You can burn the bridge completely. But in my situation, is like, all right, cool. Like I don't agree with what you did. Whatever. That's or whatever the conflict is. Let's chat about it. Let's go separate ways. I don't need to burn the bridge. Because for me, again, burning the bridge means that I hate you.
Yeah.
I know it's our style, but
Yes.
but it means I hate you, and I don't want to have hate for anybody.
I was deep in. I couldn't think of any myself either. But then I was like, ooh. Then it went into that. I was like, oh, I wonder if anyone hates me. Like if there's actually anyone out there.
Actually, there was a time where
I know there's one.
for me, you.
No, for me, yeah.
No, I'm saying for me.
He hated you. Is that what?
No, like, but I just fucking about it. Like, your sister was actually roasting me today, bro. It was the time you blame me for what happened, and then your mom didn't like me.
Oh yeah.
No, it was actually kind of sad, right? So I'll never forget this moment. Yeah, there was 3 of us, yeah, and then he was inviting the boys over to his house on the weekend, right? So it's myself and my 2 other mates, and then he was looking at them saying, "Hey, by the way, my mom said, yeah, come through." I'm just in the middle, like, am I coming? Am I invited? I was like, should I like you? And it wasn't because what I did, it was hilarious.
But you said that to him?
Yeah, I'll keep the real, man.
No, but first of all, not because
Mom said you're extra black.
first of all, the other guy.
I love you, Mr. Trump.
First of all, the other guy's very black.
No, I accidentally blamed him for something that I did.
Oh.
So
Accidentally blamed is crazy.
I used Carlos
I
as my
intentionally
scapegoat.
blamed him for
But I
something.
didn't realize the ramifications of that.
Oh, so now your mom didn't want him
My mom
around
didn't
there?
want him around. She didn't want him around. You know what I mean?
2
Even
years.
even my auntie jumped on the hate train too, bro. And she just came to
I don't want to hear that name, Carlos. Carlos, whatever his name is.
Tell from his
He's
name.
he's not coming, but the other 2 friends bring him over.
Bring them.
You poor thing.
And then on Monday we'll come back to school. These guys are talking about the best
Best
weekend
day of
ever.
their life, bro.
And I live 30 seconds away, bro.
You know that school with me? Looking out the window, bro.
You all having fun?
You need some juice?
Damn.
But it wasn't hate, but it was just funny. But yeah, for you want to eat somebody hate.
Oh, I know. I don't think they hate me anymore now. But I know for a fact at that point in time, there was one person that definitely...
One specific.
Remember, they started plotting on my downfall. Do you remember?
I don't know. I think there was...
So they teamed up with someone else to start plotting on my downfall, but the other person was redeemed and they were finally cool.
Oh, okay. I was like, so 2 people hated
But
you?
one of them, like, that
would make
it's deeper.
Yeah.
Even to okay, let me just say, even to the level, yeah. Let me just say it. So it was a girl.
I knew.
It had to be a guy.
It had to be a girl. What'd you do to her?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's mad. But so yeah, plotting my downfall, whatever. So let me even tell you this. This is kind of funny. I used to have a certain car.
My guy, put your things down because
While I talk.
if you're gonna clip this up, you just look stupid.
This is the levels of this, yeah. And things just, it's probably me getting into my mind and this person. You know, those ones where you think someone thinks this, but they are living. So, anyways, I had a car. I had to get my car serviced, right? And got my car serviced, this, that, and then I got the letter back after the car's done. This is just to give you that piece of information to just hold it. And I remember reading the name of the person who booked me, and I was like, oh. Is this person? Is this that girl?
Oh.
Paid no mind to it, whatever. Again, I'm probably dragging it. There was a time when Marwa's car was outside of my house and the window was smashed and stuff was taken out of it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Right? Nothing's piecing these things together in my mind, right?
Making sense.
This is where I started being like, when I realized after, I was like, oh, snap. Because this person, they actually would have known my Addy as well and everything because of
from the
shorty during the car. No, that's what I'm saying. It could be Jack.
Yeah.
But I remember I was like, oh my days, because I'm like, I have no enemies, I have no ops. There's never crime in the neighborhood even either. In that street in particular, nothing ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, could this be? There was also a point in time they actually lived near Marwa, I think. There was a point in time when there was a human turd in front of. I don't think we've ever told you.
I heard about this. Yeah.
And then even there was Marwa's because remember again they would have probably seen Marwa's license from the car. And then even her like the number plate was like taken or something like that a couple times. I was like, could this be this person, bro? So yeah, I was like, I think I actually might have had one hater out of everyone.
What did you? Why did this person hate you?
Can you explain?
So like, what's Marwa catching out? What's the tea?
Oh, whoa! Why you doing that, bro? Man's giving out names. Initials and that.
You can believe I wasn't sure.
What nationality?
I wasn't sure.
Oh my days!
Because there's a few.
Yeah, I put that one down, bro. But yes,
the simplest way to explain it is
genetically inclined.
Far out, bro. The simplest way to explain it is after high school. I don't know if I'll put an exact time frame to, but after high school, my man was trying to get to know Marwa. But obviously,
somebody wanted to be.
But obviously, there were some people that were still saying, "Hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here." On that sort of vibe, you know. So, and yeah, you put me through some time actually, because they're calling me. You know, talking about this guy saying, you know, it's actually the funniest thing.
So is it a hater or a fan?
I'm gonna speak on it. To be honest, like I'm gonna speak, bro. I'll get a call and they'll be like, what is it about me? You know?
Hey.
No, like it was. Hey, can I say this?
Go for it, bro.
All right, cool.
I knew this episode was gonna be a mess.
Yeah. I don't know if they ever listened to this episode, but anyways. But yeah, it was just stuff like that, you know. But obviously, Daniel's heart is already set on someone else, you know, set on Mal. But it was just more of like, they clearly wanted my guy. And I spent 4 hours a day for about 4 days straight. Like,
Talking to them?
bro, I don't even know what to say for 4 hours, you know, but I was just full. But
You start giving them options of people. Hey, what do you think of this guy?
I know he threw his own name into that at one point too, bro. Please, anything to get this off me, I'll date you.
Have you ever looked at me? Huh? But I was just like, yeah,
nice.
obviously try to comfort, try to be like, hey, you know, don't look at yourself as a bad person or you're not perfect.
Carla's giving free therapy.
Nah, bro, honestly, bro.
That was the start of AYA.
You know you're worth more than this.
Nah, the whole castle started right there. But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Tenor, you know, fast forward, because that would have been a very hard maybe for her as well. You know, you like this guy.
I don't give a heck.
I
said I don't give a heck.
You like this guy for a year.
Hey, that was the first red flag.
Bro.
1 year of life.
Wait, what's
When
When you're that age, I liked somebody for like 4.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, what's wrong with
I got mine in the end.
Bro, hey, yo. Bro, I was gonna say, I was actually gonna say, I swear there was just like in like kindergarten or something.
Yeah.
I held on to that crush for 5 years.
No.
Okay.
5 years, I
It's
reckon.
irrational. That's love, bro.
Yo,
No, high school? No, okay, primary
Yeah, high
school,
school.
different. Like, I feel like once you get to grade 11, 12, surely your brain's starting to set in.
Lock
It's
in.
trying
Nah,
to,
you're a girl.
you know. Like,
Guys were slower. Mine's still developing.
Huh? Yeah, no way, you're a girl.
Yeah, because girls, like, they get smarter quicker.
And I was guys, I liked you for a whole 2 years.
Yeah, so this girl
no, that's
so this girl was
crazy.
extra
Is that what you say?
Liking someone for a whole year, now you're calling their friend, hoping they'll, like,
Yeah.
To be honest,
on your behalf.
that seemed to be the
Bro, it's
normal
chronicles,
thing
man.
then.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
I mean, it depends on like, you know, it could be like a crush, you know, or I've had my eyes on this person for this whole time.
I've got
That's a long time. That's a long ass
Even in
time.
line with this eyes on you person thing, there's an experience that happened over the weekend to me, but I'll probably bring it up at a later date.
Yeah, I think further down the track.
We'll leave it for later down the track. We'll get chat after this bar.
Yeah, I was going to hear
I was
this.
like, hey man, I hope we have create another op.
But you're right. It's actually very interesting how you bring that up. Not that, but the previous situation. Because you might not have burned a bridge with someone, but they burned a bridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I'm never talking to this guy because of whatever. Because now it's very interesting to go, who in their mind burned a bridge with me.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like life can be very, bro. You just don't know. You might not hops. Okay, we're not.
No.
Anything crazy.
No. But like, I don't think you realize how crazy this world is.
Yeah.
That it's like someone who you think, oh, this is just a silly, weird, goofy interaction.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Actually, yeah.
I'm baby reindeer now.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Story,
That's scary. We forgot to talk about this weekend. Daniel and I had the two most awkward interactions at separate events with human beings. We did the opposite thing.
Oh,
You want to explain yours?
Fine.
Yeah.
I hate myself sometimes, man. This is why I don't talk when I go out. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, this is why I keep my stupid mouth shut and I just mind my business and I stay on calculator on my phone.
Calculator's crazy.
I look for things to do on my phone. I see this guy. I think he's someone else. I'm convinced he's someone. Convinced. To this day, I'm actually not too sure how I got it so wrong. I'm pretty sure one of us is crazy, and I don't think.
You don't think it's you? Yeah.
This guy must be Jekyll and Hyde or something. Because I don't know how.
Damn.
But I see this guy, and I was like, I'm convinced it's him. I'm like, yo, man, blah, blah. Congratulations on like everything you're doing. He's like, on what? I was like, oh, like,
Yeah,
like just, things like you're up to, like, you recently.
Dude started listing
I
accomplishments.
started saying things. I'm like, oh, you recently like did this? He's like, no. I was like, oh, just everything you're doing. He's like, yeah, thanks, man. All right, cool. Chit-chat. I'm like, oh, but I'm gonna see you this week at blah blah blah, right? He's like, no. I don't do that. I was like, hi, man, hi, please. I was like, who the heck am I talking to right now, bro? I was like, you know what the funny thing is? I saw the actual guy the next day.
That's what I was just thinking. You end up.
And when I saw him, I looked at him like, bro, I swear you're bro, I swear to you right now, please, someone tell me I'm not crazy.
Oh my
I
God.
was actually meant to even say it
bro,
to
that
him.
was the funniest.
But pretty much, I got someone completely wrong.
Kept pushing, bro.
And I just kept pushing for it. And right now, I look wild in their eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Noah goes ahead.
I do the opposite. Yeah. So I'm at another event, and I see, like, I can't even call her a friend, but you know, there's people that like you always run into. It's great vibes.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her, and we're just like bantering back and forth, like one of those like quick kind of in passing, and then it became like, oh wait, maybe I need to not walk away and just actually keep standing here.
Yeah.
And so we're like bantering, and then she's got her friend with her. I've never seen this friend in my life. And I think, it's like kind of, I hate when the person feels weird, like just standing around
like
their friend that's talking. So I put out my hand, I'm like, Noor, nice to meet you. And just, shake her hand. And she goes, she goes, I know you. Or you know, no, she goes, you know me. Oh. And I was like, aha. And then I hit her with, you just scrambling for ideas. It's always good to reintroduce yourself.
Was a nice save though.
But then afterwards, I'm thinking about it, and I was just like, the tone with which she said and everything. I don't know if it was like I don't actually know, and it was like a flirtatious. Oh, you know me,
yeah.
Like, but I'm like, this would never work. Like, I genuinely don't know you.
What kind of flirting is that?
I don't know you. But I can almost swear on my life, like I've never met this girl in my life.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I was just like, this is so awkward. I hate this. That thing of reintroducing yourself. I think honestly, because the podcast, it happens so much. Especially with like West Side people, because it's like
I don't know you.
We don't really do things around each other.
Yeah,
and it's like time and time again where I've like shaken someone's hand and said my name at the same time and like good to meet you, and they're like, and I'm like,
I never hit it with the like nice to meet you now, unless they've already introduced themselves to me. Like,
I've started restricting it. Yeah. It's always just like, what's good, man?
I need to start doing that.
I'm like, how you doing? Like, what's up?
Because I'll be like leaving, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so lovely meeting you. I said this to this girl, and she was like, you said that last time you met me.
Oh,
I got the whole conversation.
Me?
I was on the tram. Dog, I was on the tram with a whole ass guy. I had a whole conversation. I was like, thank God it's one stop. But in my head, I was like, I think I know this guy, but I can't tell. Yeah. So I just kept hitting him with the broski. That's cool, broski. That's cool, bro. Like, no, I like that. I got off the tram. I said, who
is that?
It's this guy. Because he knew everything about me. I said, who are you? It's bad. Yeah, it's proper bad.
It's odd.
Oh, my days.
But also, you have like a podcast. I feel like
but it's not
no. But even with the podcast, it gets like sad at times because we had one. Shout out to Bella. She's like a fan of the podcast, right? And
Bella's this. Let's say last name, but like, okay, it's not
the one that was bartending at Little Lagos's event recently.
Right.
So this girl had introduced herself to me like 3 times, right?
Oh wow.
One time I even like. I would like she was with a friend of mine, and they were asking me if I can just drop them to the club like a couple 100 meters away. So I was like, just so she's been in my car.
You've even put her in
she's
your
been in my car. You know what I mean? And then like I think it was third or fourth time, she's like, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, And she's like, "What's my name?" And I was like,
Oh no, I hate when people do that.
"Nah, you got me."
Not falling for it.
Take my yes. Why do you have to confirm?
Yeah, she was genuinely she's like, "That's it. I'm not listening to the podcast anymore."
Yo.
But now I remember.
Down by one.
Now I remember.
Yeah, it's
When it comes to the
mad,
whole like social thing and just being out, what is one thing or multiple things that you feel people should know? I'll give an example. Yeah, so I went to a networking event. I think maybe like 4 weeks ago. That I'm talking to this guy. We're getting deep. Pause. Yeah.
Nah, play.
Carry on.
And we were talking. I'm like, yeah, this guy can sponsor some things here. Yeah, I bet, cool.
Nah, I didn't even hear things.
Yeah.
Now he's got himself a nice sugar daddy too.
That's crazy. But anyways, I was like, all right, cool. Because I'm thinking ahead. I'm like, all right, cool. This guy can sponsor a lot of our projects. All right. Yeah, we're getting deep. And then this guy comes out of nowhere. Hey, man, how are you? My name is James. I said, hey, bro.
We were catching a vibe. What are you doing?
Ruin the whole thing.
You're moving the net. Dude just came out of nowhere.
Just comes out of
With his
nowhere.
freaking ashy hand, bro.
And then now with a through a conversation, the guy ended up leaving.
Please don't leave me.
But obviously he didn't leave in a bad. But it's like now.
But he left enough for you to be like, hey, bro, sorry, bro, about the money that we're talking about. You can't come back.
We can't come back. So then now we're in a through a conversation, and we were there for another 12 minutes. And then he was like, I'm gonna go get another drink, and then he goes, and then now I'm stuck one-on-one.
Stuck with James.
I was like, all right, cool, yeah, cool. And then these guys, and I never caught up with the guy at the end, but I was just like, I was driving here, I was like, bro, when it comes to this socializing, there's
some rules.
There's some rules to this.
Read the room.
And I feel like people need to have, they need to know this. But from your experiences, is there some stuff where I'll tell you another one. This was a little bit awkward for me and I think it happened on the weekend as well. When you're talking to someone and then someone just comes and just stands there, right? Clearly they want to join the conversation, right? But I think we have a good way of bringing the person into the conversation. I'm like, yeah, you should check what he's doing though, right? Because now I just included him to the conversation. But there's also times where if you don't have the ability to bring other people to the conversation, they're just standing there and you're talking and they're just there like this.
Giving security.
I was like, oh man. I was like, bro, people need to. But yeah, from your experiences, what are things people should really consider or think about, especially in these settings?
Some social etiquette vibe.
Yeah,
like social cues or
social cues or things that happen to you as well, where you're like, yeah, this person is not aware of what's going on, aware of the surroundings.
Trying to think of some of these situations.
For me, I was like, bro, this guy,
this is a hard one, man. I feel like that one with the hi, my name is James is one that definitely irks me a lot. Sometimes.
A lot, yeah.
But even more on the vibe, like, like if I've told a joke in the space and everyone's like loving it, like don't now kill my momentum by putting your unthought through joking. Like your joke, it doesn't hit.
I dunked. Stop. I dunked.
Yeah,
Stop jumping up for it.
Yeah. Like your celly is too much. I've celebrated this, and now your celebration is hard ice in my veins. You're doing too much. Now you've ruined my moment. You know what I mean? You're ruining it. So I feel like I've been in situations like that where like, I had everyone. The joke is worked, and then it's like, okay. Yeah. Like, I didn't even get to ride that wave for long.
Okay. I see that one. That was a big one.
That's a read the room kind of vibes one.
Let the joke fish. Let me laugh.
Let it land properly.
Yeah, let it land.
On that, you know what's some hater behavior that I love?
That's
that
crazy.
you love to
That's
do?
a crazy
I
intro.
don't
What
do
is
it
it?
too much. People do it to me sometimes, and I don't feel bad when they do it. But I've seen like I see it happen in general to a lot of people. You know, someone makes a joke and someone makes it louder and everyone laughs.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'm all for it, bro. Do that.
Yeah.
Do it. Get it.
Like, what do you?
It's
My
a
best friend does that to
dog
me.
eat dog world.
Often.
Yeah.
Someone will be like, oh my God, Rati said the funniest thing the other day. And then they'll retell it. I was like, I texted her that. I said that.
Yeah,
what do you
My
mean?
material.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that people be like, oh my God, so-and-so said I said that. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is going on? And then it's fun. I'm like, it's whatever.
I'm not mad at it because like I get my laughs.
That's what I'm getting mine.
Yeah, I get my laughs in
get
general.
mine.
So it's like if you hitchhike off me and take one, bro, just have it, bro. Don't even worry
I'm trying
about
to
it.
rebrand as not being funny, so it's okay. I'm like, yeah,
Wait,
sure,
Is
have
this
Explain.
to- No, you tell me why.
Yeah, you know, because
Why?
I think, yeah.
it. Yeah.
Do you think it's a threat to men?
Is this to garner the male gaze?
Because, no, you know when it hit me? we were at a center. I was in a silly mood. So I'm just like running my mouth. Everyone's laughing. This one guy, I wasn't even looking at him like that. Like it was genuinely nothing. But when he said it, I said, damn. He stopped, like he's like belly laughing. He stops, he looks at me. He's like, damn, you're a class clown. Said at my big age.
You don't
Someone's
be
son
looked
is
at like a class clown.
yeah, I said
By
I need to
potential
start
stocks.
giving petite. I need to start giving cute,
demure.
like demure. I said, oh, okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
It's like you
nah.
try to crack a joke, but you don't want to crack a joke.
no, yeah.
That's gonna make you explode.
Yeah.
What you say?
That's gonna make you explode. You're just
Holding
gonna-
it in. Yeah, every time. Like,
You gotta be all weird now, you know.
Yeah,
You
nah,
gotta
be you.
You gotta be cracking. You gotta be cracking these jokes yourself.
That's on that, like not even like you know what? I actually believe in encouraging people. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I was like, where is he going with this?
What's on this? I like it.
The reason I didn't realize you're not from Melbourne
Yeah.
is because I feel I've heard about you for more than 2.5 years or however long you've been here. And you have a very likable personality whenever you're in a space. Like, it's always very memorable. I've talked to people like that I don't even know if you remember interacting with. And they're like, oh, she's so likable. Like, she's so lovely. She's so whatever. And it's like because of the way that you
part of the
are.
personality,
So it would be dumb to
Stock is
dull
up.
it.
Just not being
Just to
funny.
not be
Stock
like,
is
you're a class clown. It is what it is. Me too.
Yeah, but I feel like it's different. If a guy's a class clown, it's like
100%.
no, because you know what? When you
damn,
did the
why you
last
pointing at me?
episode and you were asking, so as a female comedian, how does
yeah,
that?
yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, no, because I feel her pain.
it's
Like,
just the reality of.
Yeah, yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you don't go on dates either?
and then no, I actually don't.
Not since Black Lives Matter.
Oh my days.
My love like that.
Black Loves Matter.
Doesn't matter.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I was gonna ask in terms of being funny, what does that look like for you? Because I think that's very different for a guy.
Yeah, I
I
hear
think
it.
for a guy in different settings, around his man, around his boys, around his girl, just generally, yeah, you're the guy. Yeah, if Danny on
Yeah.
walks in, these guys are the funny guys.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I love it. Can't wait. We're about to have a good time.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
best time in the world. But what does that look like from you? I mean,
It's
obviously,
different.
It's also rare as well.
but yeah, that's what's happening. It's rare.
Do you get me? 'Cause sometimes Marwa will come back after hanging out with some girls. She's like, "Oh, it was a good time." Or like, laughing so much. I was like, "Okay, first of all, why are you lying to me?" This relationship
No,
is
you
built
weren't.
on honesty and communication. You weren't laughing.
Fine.
Fine, okay.
I tried.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different.
So you don't try to be funny. Is what you said.
I don't try, but it's just like it. I don't know. It just
It's tough
happens.
out here,
It just happens.
Like
you
you
know?
think men won't take you serious?
It's okay. So it's two parts.
Colors
There
are
are men who are like, ha ha ha, like okay, it's a bit too much. And then there are men who will really laugh. And then now I'm grossed out because I'm like, okay, but I have some self control. Like
Whoa.
I know it was funny, but not that funny. Relax.
Why am I getting you wet like this?
Bro,
See,
There's a
I
line.
don't
So
I'm
you
funny, but don't
teasing
laugh
me?
too hard.
know. You naughty.
yeah, bro.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's funny. Where it's like, yo, I'm mad because you're laughing too hard.
You're
at my
laughing
man.
too hard. Have some self control. Like try and make me work for it. You know, like girls aren't that funny.
fully with this.
No, you know what?
sense,
No.
right?
You know why I hate this? Because if a guy said girls aren't funny, she's the type of girl to be like, that is so misogynist.
Yo.
So he has no win.
No.
So now, this is what pissed me off. This means this is a guy that you thought is handsome or whatever. And if he didn't find you funny, you're like, okay, well, now I don't like him. And if he did find you funny, you're like, well, now I don't like him.
No,
So now you're missing out.
you can find me funny, just not too funny.
Yeah,
like, relax.
that's what I'm saying.
Not too. There's a lie.
Yeah, if he's slapping his knee, it's over.
Kicking his legs, like, bro.
Hey, that's
Could
fair
you
enough. I get it.
imagine?
No,
Like,
that's
am I supposed to
disgusting.
still be like,
It actually must be hard
such a
for women out
hilarious
here.
way.
That's
It's
kind of
like-
funny.
It's like,
Y'all just get grossed out by like
the
joy.
easiest thing.
You know what I mean?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But I hear it.
That you like if you did see a man go,
Yeah, no, like, if I were to be a woman, right?
And you
Which
see
I'm not,
that.
but if I were to be a woman
at a dinner,
and I genuinely saw a guy cackling, I'll be like mid laugh while everyone else is laughing. Like, just looking at me a bit like,
you're not a man.
anyways. Now your own man is calm. I think when
Yes,
once
it's locked in, you
Why
can.
am I talking from the perspective of a woman? I'm locked into this right now, bro. I'm in the mentality.
No, he is.
He's about
Let's
to
go.
text Marwa, do you miss me?
Let me take it back, bro. This is yours.
No, but once you're locked in, you can laugh what you want. But like before then, don't laugh too much. You can laugh, but not too much.
With your podcast,
Yeah.
how do you brand yourself, or how are you? Because I've seen it.
He said, just to put that out there, I've seen it.
But I wasn't at your event.
It's okay, we're fixing that. This December, turning a new leaf.
Go back
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Carl's couldn't make it to your event, by the way, in case you didn't realize.
already.
But yes, how are you on the podcast? Like, are you this funny person? Because if you are, that means you're sort of shifting away from.
No, so the conversations tend to be really serious. Not too serious. Like, we still keep it lighthearted.
It's very intellectual.
But yeah, so there's not as much room to be funny. I think I've changed it to not show less personality, but I have made it about whoever I'm interviewing or whatever the topic is.
So it's more journalism
I wanna
styled
say-
than personality styled.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want, and like even my personal Instagram's private, because I'm like, then you're gonna like buy into me, then you're gonna follow me, and I'm gonna say something crazy. Now you want to cancel me. Like, focus on the podcast. Keep it over here. Keep your attention over here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
What is like Undone Podcast? Like, what does it stand for? Like, you know what I mean? What is it meant to represent ultimately?
We have a tagline.
Yeah.
It's holistic and intergenerational conversations around mental health.
Oh, specifically mental health.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I really like the intergenerational concept of it.
Yeah.
Like that's just a really nice dynamic to just hear the voices from. I think like often, and we've said this for time, that we want to do the episodes with like Daniel's mom or Daniel's mom or my dad.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a really cool thing hearing from like just older, and then also sometimes from younger. I remember years ago someone did some form of content where it was like there was someone grandfather age and then someone that was like 8, you know, and they were just chatting about life, and I was like, that is just dope.
Yeah. No, yeah.
What's the? I mean, I was gonna say like, yeah. What is that vision meant to be then? Ultimately, like, if you want someone to tap into the Undone Podcast and get that experience, what is it? What do you want them to walk away with then? Ultimately,
Ooh, it depends on the episode. I think the reason I made it holistic was because I think when we think about mental health, we're thinking like, oh my gosh, let's talk about depression, anxiety, like AOD, that kind of thing. But like, I have an episode that I did with a friend where we talk about what's called social media activism, and how as a Black person / person of color, your ability to show up in that way is actually almost kind of limited, because your day-to-day life can also be activism in itself and like tiring, and how that can impact your mental health. There's an episode we did with Sampa, where we're talking about like navigating being a Black woman in the music industry and what that looks like, and what kind of music you're making and what impact you want it to have. But then we also do have like conversations that are, so it really depends on what conversation you're tuning into as to what you take away. Yeah, I don't know. Each episode has a different.
That's cool.
Where do you think you're at with the podcast? Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen any new.
You know who? Was it you two who came at me at an event? We're talking about it. I can't remember who it was. No, it was you two. It was you two.
I know it was.
Y'all came at me. Yeah.
1 episode hiatus. 1 episode hiatus.
You want to do a live debate, but hey,
Listen.
Like what?
yeah, hey, give us them episodes.
The problem is, I'm a big
Think she's
picture
Rihanna
person.
or something, bro.
No, I'm a
What's
big
going on?
picture person.
Doing this
You
doesn't
know,
make me believe you
I'm
more.
a big no. You
Hey,
see
that
the
is like
picture?
small picture. I don't know.
You see the picture? I'm a big picture. So my problem is, and I'm working on it. I know what I want this to become in like the next 5 years, but like the now, like you have to go through the day to day to get to the So and yeah. Mm-hmm.
What? Sorry.
Yeah, okay. No.
Just say
Look,
it to me.
I completely get this. Tell me if I'm not speaking your actual thoughts, but like when you really, really care about something and you're like, you have this really creative vision for it and everything, you almost want it to all be so perfect in the rollout of every single step. And that is really hard to achieve. And the reality is that you know deep down it's like the only way to get to that place is to actually be consistent. But I don't want to start by putting out a mediocre thing in my consistency. I want it to be really high level. Is it that?
Yeah, that's definitely an aspect of it. As well as I find my brain has like limited capacity.
Oh, he was
so like
right.
when I was focusing on, actual.
That guy was right with the, what was it? That you're intellectually lazy. Come on. Oh, wow.
To this day, I'm still like, that was a top-notch insult. Like, he ate with that one.
That's a good one because there's no swear words. No.
Discuss nothing.
Yeah.
But that's the way your brain.
Yeah, so like when I was doing the episodes, I could do that, but it meant that like I couldn't focus on doing the event, and I wanted to do the event before the end of the year. And then I'm doing the event, and I'm like, I have nothing left to give between like life and planning this event. I have nothing left to give in terms of creatively. So now we are in the process. We actually recorded the audio for the debate. And a couple other things around that. So that stuff will be getting released, and then I've planned the next, I guess, season. I didn't think I was working in seasons, but I think I am working in seasons. So we've planned the next season. So yeah.
Thoughts on
like that.
everybody going to therapy as because of the mental health side of things? Like thoughts on
unpopular opinion.
Unpopular.
In an ideal world, let me caveat it, therapy would be beneficial for everyone.
Good start.
okay.
In the world we live in, I have met people who are like, oh my God, girl, I go to therapy, da 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 da. And then you realize they're just going to therapy to get language to explain away their behavior.
Okay.
And so it's like, maybe you should have actually just stayed as you were, because I don't think you'd.
Maybe you should let your mum cuss you out.
Oh my gosh. Man.
Yeah.
No, but that right there is neglect. Okay.
That's not neglect.
Some people
That's
need neglect.
abuse. Stupid. You should get the words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, because I think I've settled on this opinion.
Go on.
This is his hill, man.
It's not my hill.
Okay.
I had watched you guys have this conversation when Yasha came, and I was like,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Your opinion is interesting considering what your dad does.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that you know about that.
No, because we were talking about using him for an upcoming event, so
Crazy.
we need to talk after. We need to talk
shout
after
out.
this.
We'll chat.
I think it's drastic to say everybody should be in therapy.
Have you done therapy?
No.
Sorry.
No. And I say this
Then let me
because,
cook.
like, my parallels are, it's a health thing, yeah? And, like, if you're fat, like real fat, physically,
Jesus, going crazy. Yep.
is we like morbidly obese, okay? Or obese or whatever, right? You need to be in the gym and on a nutrition plan,
Yeah.
right? That's how you combat it,
Yeah.
right? If you're 5 kilos, 10 kilos overweight, you might be all right with just going on a walk every single day and eating right. You know what I mean? It's about health it's about, of course, activity and all this kind of stuff and whatnot, but it's different levels required. If you're mentally very unwell, you need the equivalent of a nutrition plan and gym with a personal trainer with all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're having some rough times and all this kind of stuff and have gone through things in life, which every single person has, right? Positive trauma or negative trauma, whatever you want to call it. But you fare pretty well through that, but you have your version of going for a walk and eating right might just be a really close community that you can chat to.
Yeah.
Or things like that. And I think that's where I'm like, because it's like, why would, like, let's say I'm 2 kilos overweight and then I'm like, nah, I need to get a personal trainer 5 days a week and make sure that I'm eating aggressive diet of 1,500 calories a day. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, would be like, yo, that's a bit dramatic, man.
I actually agree with you.
This is where people would come in though, because they'll be like, all right, just like you get a health checkup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In terms of, not even when things are bad.
Yeah.
You just get a health checkup. Is also like, you know,
I hear that.
It's not when you're morbidly obese that you have to go to.
I do hear that side of
morbidly
things.
obese as the metaphor now.
Yeah.
But the health
Well, I think they're parallels because it's about health.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, I mean, So
Yeah.
as the comparative, right?
Yeah.
So people would say you don't have to wait until there's situation or something to go to a therapist.
I do hear it.
So I hear, but that's what people say.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I don't know. That's just not what comes to my mind. I know that there'll definitely be benefit. From going. Like there'll be some. I'm the type that I learn from everything as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to get to that space, and there'll be
It's benefit
takeaways.
in the way of like, let's say you're in really good shape, like 6-pack, everything, but then you
Why'd
go.
you say, let's say.
What?
Hypothetically, you're in really good shape.
You're not there, but yeah.
Yeah, and you go to the gym regular and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you go train one time with a personal trainer. He's like, "Yo, your form on this thing, if you adjust it," and then you're like, "Oh shoot, like
Calm.
that's good."
Makes sense.
And it's a good thing, but it's like you honestly wouldn't have been that much worse off if you didn't go,
I guess.
and you're not that much better off because you went.
I guess maybe then the question is like, okay, is the validation of that a good thing to know? Do you know what I'm saying?
Like someone telling you you're healthy.
Like, yeah, like, oh, that's good. Like,
Yeah,
keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I think so. I think there is also a certain point where you, like, this is now I'm playing just devil's advocate,
That's what I'm
right?
doing too, yeah.
Now I'm like in my mind, and we'll let Kudzai get her point across as well. 'Cause I know she has something burning that she has to write it down. But like,
No, I'm
I
Googling
think
something.
If you need validation on the state of your health,
What, were you not healthy?
that creates an unhealthy thing. You
No,
get what I
well,
mean?
not
That's
me.
like people that constantly step on the scales.
So I'm saying,
or constantly
yeah.
watching the calories, like every,
100%.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The nutritional information, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I'm saying it's not a need for it. So, for example, like in my line of work,
Yeah.
we have researchers.
So someone telling you did a good job, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so like, well, even
guess
beyond
that's
that, like,
alright.
we have researchers
Yeah.
that they have what they think is the right
Yeah.
thing to do. But then we'll involve people that have that lived experience that
Yeah.
are like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, that is exactly the type of priority we want. And
Yeah,
now
that's
that
fair.
researcher, extra bear in the back,
Yeah.
I'm even
Yeah.
going harder on this point
Yeah.
now. So I'm like, is it something,
Yeah.
could that be the value for
Yeah.
me? I mean, but that's also us assuming.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everyone thinks that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We are straight. And
Yeah.
that's us assuming that we're not going to be completely disheveled
Yeah.
by the end of session one.
That,
you know
no,
what I'm
no,
saying?
100%.
So yeah, but I think it is a bit scary sometimes. Not even scary. Scary is the wrong word. It's topical or whatever sometimes to just like on that push everyone to do this thing. Because I don't know, like maybe generally, like you're right, people have been doing the right form and they've got everything right in their gym that they've been going to. You know what I mean? And this will be good. It's not necessary for that person. So that need part is probably.
I think it's,
Maybe it's like, maybe everyone should.
Yeah.
Does everyone need to is a different question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone should in terms of like it'll be like what you said actually, your caveat. Like it's in an ideal world, we would have a better off society and world as a whole if maybe everyone had stepped into this or participated in therapy. Does everyone in the world need to? I don't know. But sorry.
Talk to us, guys.
You're both right. I think how we think about mental health can be quite narrow in that even when we say mental health, people automatically thinking depression, anxiety, psychosis, schizophrenia, all that kind of stuff. Not to be that person, I had to read out the definition.
Yeah, go for it.
WHO says mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, work well, and contribute to their community. So the idea of mental health isn't mental illness or poor mental health, but it's actually you being able to deal with the fact that if something goes wrong, you lose your job tomorrow, you're able to actually have the resilience to be able to bounce back from that. And I think also another thing we don't often do is contextualize it for ourselves culturally, in that I think how the Western world have pushed mental health looks different for people who belong to different ethnic groups. So like I can speak for myself as a Zimbabwean, there are things that are embedded within our culture that are actually considered to be protective factors when we're talking about like mental health that they would then encourage or prescribe to someone. But that's just what we do culturally. Like for example, when we do funerals, if like, let's say, God forbid, one of my parents passed away, people would come to the house and be with us right up until like the burial. People would stay with you, help you out, all that kind of stuff. And it's encouraged for you to cry in that environment. So like to the point where it sometimes is a bit theatrical, where like people will be like coming, like if you're in the village, people will be coming onto
like,
the compound.
I'm not that sad. It kind of
already crying.
Like they get out the car and they're like, you're like,
Meanwhile, they're driving like this normal.
driving normal the minute they get out the car.
Exactly the same as
All right.
Yeah. And then if you look at like the studies and stuff that they do on grief and like what's good and what's beneficial, those are all really good things. Another thing that we do when a woman has just had a kid is that sometimes she'll get like her like mother and like the females in her family will come to her, or she'll get taken back to them, and for like the first few weeks she stays with them and they help her out, nurse her back to help her like ease into the role of motherhood. You can think of what a protective factor that would be for postnatal depression. So I think how mental health has been sold from the Western world is very much coming from like an individualistic society.
That's big facts, because you know what else it is, like imagine like you told someone to not do either of those things, right? In the giving birth situation or the funeral and like memorial situation. It's like in that person's perspective, then if they were to go and apply that, they would probably then end up with these sudden like feelings of resentment of like, these people didn't care about me around me. But it's actually because I pushed them away based on this person's advice, medical advice that's from a Western perspective kind of thing. Because I do find that like on certain things where it's like I'll have opinions where I'm like, people will do things around me, I'm like, that's rude or that's careless. But it's just because that's culturally my perspective on it. You know? And I'm like, oh, that's just generally then not their cultural perspective. But it's like, I would find it rude if you didn't do that towards me and in that kind of thing. I think it's very similar when it comes to like people passing away and whatnot. It's like there is food at the house constantly. Like people are always delivering like cooked meals and whatnot and all this. And it's like you really take that into account when you look back on how you were treated during that time. And it's like, I know for my mom, like this kind of experience where it's like, she's like, oh, that's very like rude. Or it's like you kind of like set a you know what I mean? Like you've burnt a bridge in a sense by not doing that, you know? And it's like, she's not wrong for feeling that way. Because culturally, that's what happens.
That's what happens, exactly.
I think no one's ever said it like that in terms of the individualistic versus the communal practices of it. Because I think both are important, for sure. But then in every conversation of how this has been, what's wrong with this guy?
Mental health is funny.
Mental health is a joke to you, mate?
Can I just say this off record? Make sure you cut this out. Sorry, okay, back. Daniel, your point. I'm sorry.
Bro,
that is like, I don't know. That is like, hey.
You were saying you've never heard it explained the way.
I was with him in this.
You've never heard it explained the way she
explained.
explained.
I've never heard it explained that way in terms of like I've it's funny actually. We wanted to run a session in terms of looking at the cultural comparators of like mental health practices, and I actually wanted to do it. I'm just giving that free game. Far out. Sorry, someone might do it. We didn't have time. Where it was like it's an exhibit almost even, and it's even set up in terms of like, you know, the prayer circles in like around a campfire, or set up make an actual hut or whatever it might be. And actually go into these spaces, like what were the childbirth practices, and visualizing that being a part of that. What were the grieving practices, and actually being around that, seeing what that looks like ancestrally and you know, contextually from those cultural backgrounds and whatnot. I'm like, because mental health is the language that's been slapped onto things that have been done by humans as a whole for years. You know what I mean? And you know, therapy is the language that's attached to that now, but people have been like quote unquote therapized. Is that even the right word?
through
That
community.
Through, you know,
Yeah.
since like it's not like, I mean, I said this, I can't remember, it might have been with on Yasha's episode, but I was like,
It's not a Western concept.
yeah, and I was
No,
like,
going to your
it didn't start,
pastor, like, all
it
that
didn't
kind of
start
stuff.
when, you know, these psychologists of our time
Gave
put
it
language
labels.
to these
Yeah.
things, you know. But yeah, I think I like the fact that both are required in terms of you need the individual perspective, you need the communal perspective. But it is for me, for example, I've just been surrounded, like God, like thanks to God as well. I've been surrounded by extremely good community, like since being born.
Yeah.
From my parents to church community to friends that I've made in school
Yeah.
to people that are around me to, you know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
workplaces,
That's dope.
like there's
Yeah.
generally been community in every single like workplace. It's wild.
wow.
Yeah.
So like for me, I've never been through something that I actually felt I had to go through it in isolation, or I
Yeah.
didn't have an expert, like someone that was an expert that I could
Yeah.
go to. And like, I have to
talk
give
to.
the biggest shout out to my parents as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, my dad's
Yeah.
in this field too. So like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
even for me, I'm a person of faith. I'm a Christian. Like faith is probably my biggest grounder, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, when it comes to this
Yeah.
too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Whoever, the one person who's going to see my tears is God, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? For the most part, that's where I've cried the most.
Yeah.
So it's like, I haven't ever felt like I needed to go to somewhere else to now add to what I've already got. But I think I don't knock it ultimately at the same time. But I think it's interesting that the push on it, I'm like, it doesn't resonate with me in that way though.
I think the push, and I was thinking about this when you were speaking, is that one thing that's not often spoken about is migration trauma. And how, as migrants, depending on your migration path, when you migrated, what kind of country you migrated to, in what point in its, like, I guess, social standing and all that kind of stuff that you're going to, whether the community that you belong to had been built up at that point. So, like, could you imagine being a Christian going to a Muslim country? How many Christians are you going to find? Can you still be a part of that community? As a Nigerian, if you were moving to Australia 30 years ago, how many Nigerians were here? Like, where were you going to find them? All of those things play into migration trauma. So I think part of what is somewhat of a push, I guess, for us could be that is actually unpacking that. And then also the fact that we're existing in these systems that we said are not ideal. So there may be things that you have, what's the word? Like, allowed or just let be the way that they are, even in how you
Assume
think.
normal almost.
That are impacting your mental well-being or even how you like perceive yourself or situations because of that. But in saying that, I don't think therapy, like,
Careful now.
therapy is ideal,
Don't lose your job now.
but there are, I mean, look,
Expensive as hell. Just go on holiday. If you're only 2 kilos overweight mentally, just save the money. Go on holiday. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I was actually
Do
talking about
holiday
friend
twice
who
a year,
was-
that's it.
He was like, yo, yeah, we go to therapy. He's like, yo, it's expensive.
Dog, what do you mean 240, 360 a session?
It's an
Just for them to
investment.
say nothing. Just talk to
Yeah,
me. No,
it's
just
an
want to hear from
investment.
you.
I don't think you need to go to therapy like consistently. Like, I don't think it needs to be, I think
She's on my side now.
This could be an unpopular opinion. I could be
got
wrong
one.
on this, but I think if you're consistently in therapy for like 5 years straight, like, what have you done? Like,
Dog,
it's like a
lose the
kidney.
weight, man.
Like, surely at some point
genetics.
you've learned something
Yeah, yeah,
and you
yeah.
can
I have a
like go off
friend
on
who's
your
been going
own.
for that long. What should I say to them
Man
at the
said
next
lose the
call?
weight.
Like,
You needed to ask them why.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because the whole point is you're going there to get tools.
Yes.
As you have the tools, go use them.
I think this is where I also, this is on many things. This is not even just in the health space or mental health space. This is not just the health space. This is the society we live in every single facet. I think we in the Western context especially, build systems that keep you coming back for a capitalistic reason,
Yes.
right? And so I think
Speak on it.
therapy is clearly one of those things.
Do you think it's clearly one of those things?
I think it's clearly
or in-
because the price of the sessions, like, dog, what do you mean 55
tough.
minutes? And
I mean, but that's the thing. That's why, like, I mean,
and now, by the way,
like, we've got avenues where,
of course,
you know,
there's resources,
so
whatnot, blah
yeah, I
blah.
hear it. It can be used, I think, to fuel.
Yeah, I
Those
think
type of
there's another side of this where it's like, if you're what's the top people in society called? Like
1%
financially
up?
earnings, not just the 1%. upper class, right?
Not where I thought
If you're upper class, you can afford this stuff, and it doesn't hurt you like that.
Yeah.
If you're lower, what's that one? The under middle class.
Lower class.
Lower class, yeah, it is, yeah.
Middle class is also working. What you mean?
I think that might
If you're lower class and have less abilities, there's so many more subsidies that you can tap into. Now, whether you know about them or not, they exist, right?
Yeah.
Where I think the real hurt is in general in society is that middle class. That kills you, all right? Because you don't have access to all these subsidies and these rebates and these whatnot and blah, 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 because you're earning okay. But now it's like, okay, the money that I do have has to actually go towards this, and that really does hurt. You know what I mean? It's the same way the taxes actually
use the pasta for free.
Yeah, literally.
literally. I know someone that like they went. I kept on like saying like, you just go check out this therapist or go to this counselor. And then another friend was like, yo, and I told them like go to a pastor, but they didn't really have one to connect with at the point. Then another friend was like, yo, just come chat to my one, like da da da. They went there and they're like, I didn't even know pastors do this.
Yeah. They do so much.
But it's pastoral care. It's not therapy.
Yes.
Unless you go and sue them and be like, he counseled me into it's pastoral.
Yeah, for sure.
Pastoral care.
Yes.
I mean, and even the risk you run of like running into like bad advice, I feel like some therapists also can give bad advice. So it's really like, at least this was free.
Yeah. You know, on the whole immigrant and refugee thing and all that kind of stuff, because like I've thought about this for like some people I love and whatnot. I'm like, I think therapy would really help you in the older generation. But then I was like, I really think about it and I'm like, I don't know, and I don't know if I can say they're wrong for it, if they'd be comfortable sitting in a room with some, because I'm like, I wouldn't want you to go to a therapist that's Australian, right? Or a therapist. I would literally like let's say if it's like an aunt that I have or something, I want you to go to ideally an Iraqi therapist, right? But in their mind, the patient confidentiality is not really a thing. And so they would be very averse to going to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know if I can knock you for that. But then I'm like, I don't know what the solution is because you don't have community the way you had it. Yeah. You don't, all this kind of shambolic.
I did an Instagram live with the lady called Cynthia, and we're actually just talking about this. And she made a critique that I was like, whoa, I need to sit with this. And she was like, our generation can be quite pushy with trying to get the older generations to talk about things that they have been through that we could never even imagine, or things that were difficult, and how
they relive.
The reliving of that. But also like you have to consider they're in a survival mentality. Like if you think about the fact that like if you were to have to relocate right now, you've got kids that are relying on you, you've got parents that are relying on you, you've got siblings that are relying on you, and you've got a wife and you got your own kids. Like that is a lot. So there are things that you just pack up, put in a box, put away, because you need to survive and do what you need to do. And so now it's like we can't be like, okay, now unpack all your boxes and like deal with it. Not the most, but I think how we can start that is by having conversations about like maybe things that are beneficial to everyone. Like that's where that intergenerational conversations come in. But not like,
I hear that. Yeah.
You need to deal with your abandonment issues in your.
I think that's it. You can't have those conversations in any generation or even with your own generation, but especially with older. Like you can't have those conversations with opinions.
Yes,
you got to have the conversations to have the conversations. Because I remember one time we were chatting about something, and my dad goes, he's like, this is still just my first time being a dad.
Yeah,
and I was like.
Deep.
Well,
I'm gonna go to my room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
When you do
I was
that,
like, that's actually kind of true. Like this really. Like, you've had us for like 30 years, 27 years, but it's like, it's your first time with a 27-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I was like,
so get together by now, buddy.
Yeah.
Literally.
I was like, oh, damn, like, that's actually pretty, like, interesting.
Yeah.
I think, like, that generation will definitely benefit from...
something.
Yeah, benefit from, like, even just maybe talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
But in a facilitated manner, for sure.
Yeah.
But I do think being able to face that comes with luxury, you're right.
Yeah.
Because...
We have all the free time. Look at us making podcasts. Like at our age, they weren't sitting down making. They're like, we do back-to-back shifts.
We have enough time to come and yap, record, and put out.
Literally,
we're not serious.
We have
I don't want to hear about my problems, man. But like literally, like it's a luxury that we can afford to be able to do so that they I think, for example, like my parents, I think that they have been able to get to a point now that they have been able to like reflect on things and whatnot. Yeah, wow. But for a lot of people, I think that like, and even like in conversations I have with them, like I remember I was saying that I saw that switch when it's like my words are making sense to them too now. Like they're being able to reflect on things that I'm saying. Yeah. But it comes with being able to now be at that point. If you're still in the mode of like, I'm not ready to unpack the boxes because I'm still moving.
Yeah.
Like you're at literally packing that up is because my hands are busy right now with other things. Yeah. Being able to open that up that means all those other things have been settled now. So 100%, exactly. it is kind of, it's a wild thing to try to push and see come to fruition. It'll happen in its own way, but it's probably not the way that we're want. That we'll host the session and they'll come down and
your therapist will be there. You'll be here. You'll be crying. This is how you let me down. Like,
nah, literally. No, literally, the parent will be looking like you'll be crying. I'm like,
what the hell?
What the hell? Getting the ick from your own child, man.
Literally.
Mad, man. Serious. Oh my days. There's so many things that we wrote in.
Do you guys want to hear the?
We actually wrote so many
things. But we're not gonna get to those. But
you guys want to hear one of the coolest marketing stories ever?
What?
Oh yeah, let's do this one. This is probably
because this is either gonna fall flat and you guys are gonna be like, okay, cool, or you guys are gonna get really into it.
You've gassed it for like 2 weeks now.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
All right, so 1996 Atlanta Olympics. All right. Reebok pays $50 million and wins the bid to sponsor the United States Olympic team. All right. Nike, I can't remember exactly the quote of it wasn't CEO, but someone high up in the marketing team. And they were like, we're going to win this Olympics, right? Like as Nike, right? And so they come up with all these strategies. They're like, how do we infiltrate this whole thing? Altogether, it's been the most that anyone's spent on any Olympics like ever.
Yeah.
Up to that point in terms of advertising, I think that like 10 big companies like Nikon and McDonald's and whatnot had put like altogether $400 million in terms of sponsorships and stuff. The previous year, 95, the revenue for Nike was $4.8 billion.
Say billion?
Billion in 95. And Reebok's was 3.5 billion. So it wasn't too far apart. And they were like, whoever wins this bid might really have the race, all right, when it comes to this kind of stuff. So Nike goes, all right, how do we figure out how to get this? So they just go mad aggressive guerrilla marketing, yeah? So just outside the Olympic Village, because what is not allowed is you're not allowed to bring in any, like all the athletes have to wear Reebok stuff on Team USA. And you're not allowed to bring in any advertising or whatnot into the building from other companies if you haven't won a position, right? So right outside the building, they built a 15,000 square foot space called the Nike Center for athletes and fans and whatnot to just come and relax and meet their families and all this kind of stuff, conduct interviews, all this kind of thing, yeah?
They build it.
They build it, right? They spend... it was an absurd amount, but I think they had something like 1,000 billboards around Atlanta, right? And they got their team on it. Like, it was just Nike everywhere around Atlanta, right? And so one of the billboards, like insane copywriting, they go, you don't win silver, you lose gold. And that one became iconic, yeah? Then, like, all these strategies, whatnot, what thing they had is, like, they had fan, like, paraphernalia, essentially, like, to take into the stadium. But it was all Nike branded. But it's like, if people bring it in, they're allowed to, right? Yeah, and on TV, everyone's just going to see, you know, like there's little clappers and whatnot and this and that. It's all Nike, yeah? Then for the only thing the athletes can pick is what footwear they use, right? They don't have to wear Reebok. So Nike goes, we're going to make sure our athletes, like we're going to get the good athletes. So... the epitome of that was Michael Johnson, who's running the men's 400 meters, and he's one of the fastest guys in the world, right? Yeah. And so they give him, I think USA was wearing, it was either red or like the navy blue, and they give him these golden running spikes, yeah? And so, and he smashes it. I think he hit world record or something, whatever. And all you see is these gold shoes in every video, in every replay, in everything. And like, even in the moment, you're like, it stands out compared to everyone else, right? And then he wins gold as well. And the shoes are golden. A couple days later, he's on Time Magazine's cover. Everyone's probably seen it. They probably don't recognize it. But what does he have around his neck? The lace is spiked. And like the spikes with the laces tied around and like they're just around his neck. So now Nike's on front of that. They conduct the research afterwards, 22% of Americans thought Nike was the official sponsor. Yeah. 16% only knew that it was Reebok. And I think it was something like 40 something or whatnot that just couldn't tell you what it was. And that alone is a win for Nike.
Yeah, 100%.
Nike's sales the following year goes up by 22% as well. Right?
Bro, that's what.
And Reebok from like mid 2000s, which is like you would say is like the deteriorating phase the next 10 years, Reebok's kind of disappeared since then. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, as a marketing guy, I was like, this is the coolest story.
cool,
Like,
yeah.
I love that kind of guerrilla marketing where it's
Yeah.
like, yo, we're gonna do this kind of thing. I just thought it was dope.
4.5
That's
billion.
petty, though.
What was
Also.
their initial
4.5 billion was their revenue in 95.
Yeah. And then
yeah.
you're trying to tell me that went up
Reebok
by
was
22%.
close.
Yeah, or more, whatever.
more.
I mean, nowadays it's literally in the tens of billions.
Yeah.
their revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reebok was far behind, 3.5 billion.
Yeah.
Well, that's
You know what this tells me?
They played it too safe.
Yeah, this is what it tells me, yeah.
Oh, sorry. And then it gets to the point where Reebok sues the city of Atlanta for not protecting their sponsorship rights and stuff. And they were like, yo, they did everything legally. They they ran the streets essentially.
They thought they had it in the bag.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
run the streets, bro.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, man, with the running the streets thing. Like, literally, the innovation lead is
Yeah.
the person that you need to have on your team right now.
Yeah.
Like, we actually neglect the fact that coming up with a new idea, in quotations, is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might think that you're the first one to do a debate night in the city.
Untapped market. What do you mean?
I'll show you videos.
But literally though, being in that innovative kind of bag is tough. Yeah. So that person that's coming up, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I know they got looked after like nice
for life.
Oh, yeah.
For life.
After that, man.
Yeah.
That's mad. We don't. What is it? You don't win silver, you lose
Just
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
Duh.
That's sensational.
I had to sit with that. I said, oh my God.
That's one of them ones when you run into the guys. I've got it. I've got it.
Literally.
Yo, yeah. Nah, I would love. I was saying this when I watched the I forgot what it's called now. The Nike.
I know the one you're talking about, the movie Michael Jordan.
What's it called? It's called Air.
Yeah.
When I watched that, I was like, it must have been crazy to be in some of those rooms at that time and think you've got something.
Yeah.
Like to
Yeah.
just the thought of like we're holding onto something right now and we
Yeah.
just have to fully believe in this thing right
Yeah.
here. I'm like, do we have that? Like we all have our ideas, but are we holding onto things right now that's like, yo, let's just go full force on this. So yeah, guerrilla.
Yeah.
Let's go guerilla on this and see where this
Where it
actually
goes,
goes because I
yeah.
believe it's that.
It is
paid off for
really
them.
cool. Whenever you hear the stories of the people, like, funny enough, I feel like you kind of, nothing will ever be taking it to the streets. You know what I mean? And like letting people love it or see it or whatever. It's like that always works. Jeezy, like the rapper, did the exact same thing in, I think it was 2003 or whatever. And his whole thing is like, he's the snowman, like snow being cocaine, right? And so he was selling all these, like his mixtapes and whatnot out the trunk. But then it just blew up around Atlanta, blew up around America eventually. And then he was selling these t-shirts that were, they're just an angry snowman. Like it's a black t-shirt with an angry snowman on it.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where high schools were banning them. Like you were not allowed to wear the can't ban the snow. And then they started a whole campaign, can't ban the snowman.
Yeah.
And then like it just blew
kept-
up his whole everything. It's very cool that like streets marketing that
Yeah.
people do.
Because even Dave Chappelle did it with the whole Netflix issue as well. He was like, I'm not going to the producers, I'm coming to you as my fans. Because you guys are the ones that will make the real difference. And it did.
Yeah.
You
Have
know?
you heard of the book Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell?
Gladwell. I've heard of it, I've never read it.
I've read it, and honestly, I thought it would be inspiring. I mean, I guess it kind of is.
No, I love this. I love when people are just honest about it. It's like, yo, that book was
The book pissed me off because it's like story after story about like these moments where there's just a tipping point and something just blows up and there's no like.
Is that the one where he talks about David and Goliath?
I think so, yeah.
And he's like, something about like, it's actually less likely for him to lose this battle than we think it is for David. I don't know. I know he had a
think that
book
might
where
be
he
a
had
different
that
one.
perspective.
Yeah,
But yeah,
there's
anyway.
another one that I think that matches with. Yeah. And it's just like story after story, case study after case study, where he's like, in conclusion, there's always a tipping point.
Yeah.
But there's no one tipping point or no formula to get to a tipping point for anything. So when I hear stories like this, I'm like, that's so beautiful.
That's great. Well,
I wish
how
I
do
could
it?
take something from there
Yeah.
because that's my tipping point look like.
That makes
I'm
sense.
tipped over. That's great.
I'm standing on a tipping point.
That's it. Get in therapy, guys. Carry on.
Yeah, no, that's the.
Oh my god.
You know, on the whole, how deep?
Dog,
I'm loving
it's
this. This
No,
is
it's
nice.
deep.
Okay, fine. Last
She needs
thing.
to sleep.
Okay.
On the whole, hating a book when you read it. I went through this phase where like I just kept buying like Christian books, like the pastors' books and stuff.
No,
Stop talking. Got the cameras now.
And I was like, I'd read like Rich Wilkerson, Chad Veach.
No.
What's the guy that keeps emotionally cheating on his wife? John Gray.
Goodness gracious.
Like all these people, I would just read their
Hey guys,
books.
I do it too.
They're like, no, we're actually fucking.
We actually cheated,
We
bro.
get cheeks. And he's like, what? I thought we were just texting.
Carl Lentz is next.
Carl Lentz, all these guys, I'd read their books. And at the end of it, I'd be like, yo, this kind of ass, bro. Like, I just wasted my time. Like, this didn't help me with nothing. I'm going to say I liked it because it feels like, it feels unchristian to hate.
I'm biblical to hate Christian.
But I'm like, hold on. I hit a point where I was like, hold on. This is not the Bible.
Hold up, wait a
I
minute.
can say I don't like this.
You can say you don't like it.
And yeah, because I think it was this. The second John Gray book, I was like, oh my God. Like, now I'm just finishing it to say I finished it.
Should I mention it?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if you've seen. Do you know Tony Tone? She's like
Yep.
the Nigerian.
Yeah.
So she has a book. She has 2 books, 3 books. I don't know, whatever. She's got books. And I was like, okay,
too
this
many.
book has hit the charts. Let
Yeah.
me read the book. I read the book. I actually got like maybe 3/4 way through. I was like, who? Is she talking to high school girls? Like, who was this book for? This book sucks. There are grown women who said, wow, this book changed my life.
You know what makes me realize?
those
We're
are
not
just
living the
lies,
same
bro.
lives.
I now wanted to do a case study. I'm like, I want to know what life you're living that this book
Yeah.
changed your life.
Hectic.
Book changed my
Your
life.
potential is little if that changed your life.
But I think we are accepting of mediocrity, and I think it's
Yeah.
even more accepted when it comes to books, because not many people
Yes.
I guess not many people are reading books. When they find a book they like, they're like, wow, this is no, not that they like, that they can read.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's that people like the person.
Go read a tweet.
People like the celebrity, and then they don't want to dislike
Yeah.
whatever the celebrity put out.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's what it is.
my
All those pastors need to stop with the book.
wrap it
They
up.
need to
But those-
stop.
Just be faithful.
I
Money
tried reading the
makers.
Stephen Furtick book. No, okay, now that we're
No,
name dropping. Now that we're here.
Hey, we're
I have
there.
lawsuit money.
Stevie. No, good old
Crash the chat about.
I was
Sun
like,
stand still.
Wow.
I'm waiting
This
for
one I
the.
Nah,
Okay,
play.
first of all, I kept waiting for the
justification.
inspiration to hit, and I was
Yeah.
like, we can't be surprised as Christians when we see people going to read all these other books by these people who you're like, oh, their ideologies are questionable, when they actually make people think. They're actually deep. They walk away and they're like,
It's not just echo chamber kind of stuff.
yeah. I feel like Christian books are like they've chewed it up and they spat it back out, and then you're just supposed to swallow it. Like, make me think on it. Like make me sit with the
doesn't mean I
idea.
have to read it.
Yeah, keep writing sermons, bro.
Yeah, that.
No, like
Yeah, that
But
legit.
makes
even
more
that
sense.
one, maybe we might need to shut that one down. Like,
You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's some good stuff out there for sure, man. I
There
think,
is
yeah,
some.
it seems like you'll
there's
be
too many mediocre things though. There's some good
man.
stuff.
I mean,
but-
everything's a New York Times bestseller.
I wanted to look at how does that happen.
It's
They
so
buy it. There's
What's
a
the
whole
criteria?
That's another thing.
they
market
buy it
behind
themselves.
that.
They
Yeah.
buy it themselves.
Okay,
Also,
I want
think
to know
about
what
it,
the
like-
criteria was.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Thank you.
Hillsong Conference, 1 year we go,
Eesh.
and
You went for a big one. Wow.
yeah.
Damn.
And so suddenly Brian Houston's dropped
yes.
a book
Yeah.
a couple months like a couple weeks before that. What was it? It was
It's not
wasn't Live Love Lead. It was the other. There is more,
There is more. Yes.
right?
I haven't
And
seen
Live, love, lead is so crazy. It's giving live, laugh, laugh. Anyway, continue.
honestly, and
there is more. True.
the conference is what 21,000 people at the
Yeah.
time. I think it was big. It was big before they all started slanging their penises.
I was gonna say there is more is like the tagline for
Yeah,
their
we're
downfall.
doing
Like,
downfall.
every time there is more, but wait,
more.
there's more.
Yeah. And then they marketed like the conference was called
It was
There Is More.
yeah.
And then this is where the marketing hits at these churches, right? Because then at the cafe there is s'mores. I'm not even kidding.
No,
yeah?
their marketing,
Yeah.
church marketing teams, guys, we need to
On it.
look
They eat up. They eat up. They
into
eat up.
that.
They eat up. But then one day they're like, oh, so generously,
I forgot about that.
everybody's getting a copy of the book.
I forgot about
Right?
that.
Think about it. We've all paid literally $360
We
to
bought
be
Yeah, to be there.
I
We
remember
bought the book.
one of our boys was like, we told him the price to come, and he was like, hey, for that price, I better get into heaven.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm not actual.
I better get
But
into heaven.
360, and then it's like, oh, so generously, they've all given us a $20 book. No, we basically bought
We
it.
bought it.
But what does that mean? 21,000 copies were sold of that book.
Yeah.
Nazim.
Right? So, of course, he's going to end up.
Yeah, number one, yeah.
Come on, man. His church is playing games too.
Man. Hey, but church is good, man. God loves you guys, and God wants
God
to
loves
see
you. Go to your nearest church this Sunday.
There is a conference in your area. Yeah, pastoral care is important. No, guys, we're very serious on this one.
No, we're actually being serious. We're running our mouths, but we're being serious, please.
Heaven is good, hell is real.
Jesus loves you.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's us. What's coming up? Anything to look out for? You taking your rest?
Coming up? So it'll be the audio being released from the debate night. I have a couple of exciting episodes that I have planned. Maybe another event.
Okay. She's gonna put on the same night as our live show.
No, I won't.
Well, that's crazy because I was gonna ask you to host, but now go ahead.
No, I was like, now we need to talk dates because what dates are you? I mean, I wasn't looking at December because I don't believe in myself like that. In December, people are trying to shake ass. Yeah, in December, people are trying to shake ass.
That's what our event is for.
That's the whole premise of our event.
No, I don't have the kind of clout to pull an event in December.
December 5th. Anytime after that.
Yeah, no, it's TH after that, yeah. So
we did that, we'll go away with it.
Okay, cool. New event coming up. So stay tuned for sure.
I like that you're getting in your hosting bag quite a bit.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes, me too. I love it.
Or at least I see you on a lot of flyers.
I'm like, why are people giving me a microphone? Thank you.
If you are not comfortable, we can cut you out of the event.
Oh, but no.
We can cut this whole episode.
We can wrap it up.
Thank you for the microphone. No, yeah. I feel like I've been doing it. I think people think I recently popped onto the scene, which I'm like, fair. I was just been doing it in other spaces that weren't as,
I love it.
Yeah.
So
you're outside.
You know.
I mean, not in that way, but
You know,
maybe
yeah.
you should be out in that way. 2.5 years it's been since the last day. But anyways,
yay!
besides the point.
Look,
hey,
the
man,
Melbourne streets are dirty. The Melbourne streets are dirty.
Good luck out there, bro.
Yeah,
we need the cleanup crew for real.
Yeah. See, because look, if I asked you guys,
Yes.
do you have one homeboy you could recommend?
Yeah.
Can't lie, I do, but they're all taken.
Yep.
See,
that's what I always say.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So no.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, wow.
No, we're here. What do you want?
Yay, that's crazy. That's making it onto the episode.
Yeah, just make it an ad. Guerrilla marketing.
You don't look
infiltrate
like
the streets.
Zim, but you don't look like you like Zim guys.
Damn it.
Can you blame her?
Damn it.
I'm just saying words just to get
gets
reactions.
worse. Okay.
Just to get reactions.
Carlos, what does that mean? What kind of guys do I look like I like?
For me,
that's the question.
for my experience.
With what?
Of what?
No, like just
Zim
Zim
men?
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generally, I have Zim friends.
Yeah.
For some reason, Zim girls just don't like Zim guys.
Okay, for me, it would be my height doesn't help.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I prefer someone taller. That is a preference. Have I been known to
95%.
not stick to that preference? Yes.
Cross there.
But I'm saying,
Just out here doing
so
daddy daycare.
I'm yo.
So crazy.
Nah, daddy, bro.
so
Daddy dick is what?
You need to leave. You need to leave.
Sir, you need to leave. Sorry.
Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, some guys tend to be a lot shorter.
Yeah.
There's no other real reason I don't
Wow.
like some guys. It's just like usually height doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
It's not the cheating. It's not.
Okay, but
I'll put up with all of it. Just be 6'4".
who doesn't cheat? You know.
Yeah, it's a long life. You have to forgive.
One person is too much.
Therapy exists.
It's a long
We can work
It's
through it.
crazy.
You know, with God on our side, nothing's simple.
Nothing's impossible.
I don't know. Intellectually stimulating. I'm not saying
Actually, not lazy.
Yeah, to make up for the deficit in the relationship.
we need to balance each other out.
Yo.
Probably like chill. Like I feel like I'm pretty
Yeah, that's a lot
easy
too hard.
going.
Okay, talk to me because you're funny. Like I would say there's a handful of
I
girls.
take that seriously because
you.
I know you are a tough critic
Thank you.
of girls who think they're funny.
No, there's a handful. And would you not like to be with a guy that's funnier than you, or as funny?
I don't
Like,
mind,
would you like
actually.
a more like nonchalant guy that's like,
Every girl loves the mysterious. though. I can't lie. We all like mysterious, but I also don't mind fun. My problem is I don't like circle starters.
You know that mysterious thing? Oh.
Circle starters. So like,
that,
you know,
the guy that dances in the middle of the circle.
Yeah, like, let's go. Make the circle bigger. No.
Okay, yeah, right.
No. I was trying to explain that to my dad too. My dad was like, why? And then we went to my friend's wedding and there was a guy who was, and my dad afterwards was like, yeah, I get it. It's like, it makes sense.
Can I ask you what it is? Do you feel like he gets too much female attention if he's like that? Or do you think he's just like goofy?
Not even, none of those. It's like, why?
Yeah, no,
like,
it's literally why. Why am I so
group leader?
I'm not saying don't dance, but you don't need to start it. You don't need to relax. You know,
that's okay. Yeah.
Don't do too much.
Yeah.
Hey man, guys, you know who to hit up.
Oh, Black. Oh, I'm so sorry. Black.
With a hard B, man.
Yeah. So I had to put that out there.
What's nah, that's a silly question. We're not asking that.
Go on, we can keep it up. What are we gonna ask?
No, the question is not existing in my mind anymore.
Okay.
Yes? Don't do it. Just leave it, man. Hey, you find that out on Patreon, man.
Okay.
Hey, I've seen your phone is blinging and someone is trying to get in contact with you.
Bro.
So, hey.
Thank you for joining us for another episode.
It's been real. Thank you for having me.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this one around. It's actually very fun. I really enjoyed this episode.
Yes, I had fun.
You can follow Undone the podcast because you can't follow Kudzai because she's on.
No,
that's true. Sorry, fellas.
If you're black, over 6'4", and not Zim,
and not in the circles,
and not a circle starter,
yes.
you can request to slide in her DMs.
Yeah, gives me that.
We'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Love.